In big time, you can collect big time crypto.
All right. It's that special time again. It's Z Show. And I'm your host, Z. One letter, one channel, one show, one world, one love. This is a one world order. Call it Z Nation. Who knows? Maybe it'll be Mr. Jack Talcott who leads the world order. The Talcottian nation. Who knows? Certainly not me. I, much like you all, am just a participant on this ride here. This crazy ride called life. Greetings, the peoples of Earth. How are you? How's everybody doing? Climb aboard. The airship Z show will now be leaving the station. Relax as your captain, Mr. Zetetic Warrior, takes you on a gentle journey around this incredible reality. Who knows? We may even take a trip beyond the ice wall. Come on, who's with me? The Airship Z Show to the outer lands, beyond the Antarctic, out there to the Iron Republic and the land of the Anunnaki. Our good friend Mr. David Weiss will be waiting for us out there. He's already made contact, apparently, with the leaders of the Iron Republic. He is now our ambassador, our emissary to the outer worlds. That's right. Now, don't tell our new friend Stinky Cash that Mr. Dave Weiss used all the Flat Earth app shekels to purchase a timeshare out in the Iron Realm beyond the ice wall. We wouldn't want to do that, but much love, everybody. My audience is reminding me it's April Fool's Day. April Fools. Everybody plays the fool sometimes. Everybody. And if you look into the alchemical principles, you find that the role of the fool, the jester, so to speak, is integral in the alchemical formula. This idea of being able to play the clown jester, it's part of it somehow. Which makes me think of these weird secret societies, these occult brotherhoods. When you investigate many of their initiation ceremonies, you find this. Look at the fraternity initiation ceremonies. When you're rushing, let's say, a frat in college, you find this concept. One must be able to play the fool if you are to be initiated. If you want to be given the knowledge, if you want access to the secret doctrines, you must learn this. Of course, my longtime listeners know that I certainly have no issue with playing the fool. It comes quite easy to me, maybe too easy. Who knows? Maybe I'm just a fool. Maybe I'm playing like intelligent. Did you ever think of that? Maybe that's the nature of this whole crazy game. Maybe true intelligence and true foolishness are basically two sides of the same weird metaphysical coin, and that both are the same in nature but simply different in degree. But hell, what do I know? I was on my good friend Mr. Natya Keda's broadcast yesterday, I believe it was. I had a fine time over there. I don't know how many people saw it. Shout out to Mr. Natya Keda. I put a video out earlier today. If anybody's interested, check it out, and you'll find a link to his channel in the description. Shadow and Light says, I enjoyed your intelligent video on your conversation over nachos this morning. Well, thank you, Shadow and Light. So check that out. Yeah, Mr. Nachiketa. He's what they call a real one. But his broadcast was not without its share of trials, troubles, and tribulations. Turns out Mr. Nachiketa has a similar experience as mine when it comes to this whole metaverse. Seems that there are those who are quite intent on basically impeding his ability to broadcast and present information. Right, Shadow, he's a lovely man. He's an Asian dude. With like a deep voice and stuff. Like George Takei. Mr. Sulu. Asian guy, deep voice. If I ever remake like Star Trek here on Z Show, because you know, that's part of my purview here. We're going to be remaking popular popular media movie moments here on Z Show. If I ever do Star Trek, Notch, you're Sulu. I mean, I don't want to typecast you, but come on, it's kind of a no-brainer. We'll be casting for the role of the Z Show Star Trek parody. We need a Uhura Spock. I'm, of course, going to be Captain Kirk, the Shatner part. But we need a Spock. Who would be my Spock? I wonder. I'd have to think about that. Either way, you can't have Star Trek without Mr. Spock. Who knows? Also, earlier, I was noticing that Rose 777 and Jack Talcott did a special broadcast live and in person on Rose's channel. I don't know if anybody got to see that. But we saw Rose and Mr. Talcott hashing it up. Maybe we'll take a look at that later, if I feel so inclined, in a bit. Maybe we'll check out the Rose and Jack collaboration. What was it titled? They had a very special title. It was very secretive. Rose and Jack appear to be up to some kind of very shifty plan, which doesn't surprise me with Rose. We know she's shifty, Mossad-like, gypsy-like in her ways, scheming, plotting, planning. So who knows what she's plotting with Mr. Talcott. But the name of the stream was, let me pull it up here. I know I have it here somewhere. Could you imagine if Rose and Jack team up? We're all in trouble if that happens. The world's in trouble. Because with Jack's like pretty much insatiable appetite for complete and utter control, tyranny, and domination, combined with Rose 777's shifty planning like behaviors, plotting, scheming, we're in trouble. Three Fingers says it was hilarious. I guess you were there, Three Fingers. I'm sure it was. We might check it out later. So here it is. It was entitled Rose and Jack Talcott plan a covert operation. Well, there you go. That says it all. Again, not surprisingly, that Rose 777 is doing something covert, sneaky, underhanded. It's in her genetics, everybody. They're shifty. You can't have a people that can hide their horns for 6,000 years and not be shifty. It's not easy. No, not Rose of the Cross, the Rosicrucians, cool channel name, and not Rose and Jack from Titanic. Although you are inspiring a new movie parody where we can do it writes itself. Where we do the Titanic, played by Jack and Rose, playing the part of Jack and Rose. Oh my God. We have to do it. Yeah. Shadow and Light's laughing. She knows. It's hilarious. The music, everything. Again, it writes itself. Jack is the Leonardo DiCaprio part. Rose as Rose, the main character. And of course, I'll be playing the part of the jealous boyfriend. What's his name? Billy Zane. Why do I know his name? Why do I know the actor who played the jealous boyfriend? The upper class guy. I'm pretty sure it's Billy Zane. I'll be playing his character. So I need to do some villainous characters. I can't always be like, the hero. I can't be like Spock. I can't be the Tom Cruise character in A Few Good Men all the time. I have to mix it up. I have to show my range. So I'll be the Billy Zane character. So I'm just saying. Sarah Breslin says the weekends ain't no fun without some Z show. Well, I appreciate that, Sarah. Lovely Sarah. But there's a little term in showbiz. Basically goes something like this. Always leave them wanting more. So if you're wanting more Z show in the weekend, that's a good thing. But I'll be releasing more videos like I did today. I released 2 videos today. I have a bunch of shorts I'm going to be launching. I'll be creating a TikTok channel. I have at this point, tens, if not hundreds of shorts ready to go in the can. So we're going to start promoting the Z show in ways like that, etc., etc. So Mr. 1-to-1 wants me to talk about the moon. What are you saying, Mr. 1-to-1? You seem quite intent on grabbing my attention. Even employing the lovely Heidi, Divine Spark 313, to try to get my attention. Come on, Heidi. See, Heidi knows when she does that, she's like playing with fire. When she tries to direct me to something, because she's basically sticking her neck out. Because if it doesn't work out and I'm not pleased, then she's going to catch it. But she pushes the limit constantly because that's what these ladies do. Constantly pushing, testing, prodding. Hey guys, listen up, especially you younger gentlemen. That's the role of these ladies. Their whole existence regarding you is one big shit test. That's what it is. You want to deal with these ladies, you will be shit tested. This is biological. It's adaptive in many ways. They're programmed for it. They're going to push your buttons. They're going to rebel. Look, they rebelled against the creator and the creation. What, you think that whole biblical Garden of Eden story is bullshit? It's basically the first shit test. Adam failed and pretty much fucked us all over. And Eve. Sorry, Adam, you fucked up. Adam was the original simp. He let his bitch get out of control. Look what happened. We're all fucked because of it. Thanks, Adam. Good job, simp. What do you want me to know about the moon, Mr. 1-to-1? He said, have you ever seen a 50% lunar eclipse at sunrise nowhere near the sun? I don't know. Not really. Why have you? Um, Harmon says, Aesthetic Warrior, I took notes on your video today on the 7 Hermetic principles. Well, thank you, Harmon. Appreciate that. More videos like that to come. Here's the thing, Mr. Harmon. What I realized, because people have communicated this to me, is that not everybody's in for like the long form Z show. Like we're a half hour into the show and I played Atari music and pretty much sat here and just kind of monologue. Not everybody's into it, but they want the truthiness. So I'm continuing to curate and catalog my material into segments like you saw this morning, where I cut out the fluff. I get down to it. It's edited, polished, and then presented. The next thing, Harmon, is graphics, video, images, but one step at a time. That stuff is easy. And frankly, other people can take up that effort if they choose. So, but I appreciate that, Mr. Harmon. Like I said, more to come. I don't know, Mr. One-to-One. Maybe we can talk about the moon a little bit later. Maybe we'll get into it, man. As my longtime listeners know, it's probably my favorite topic is the moon. I could endlessly talk about the moon. A 50% eclipse where you said it looks interesting with like the more lighted outside. Yeah. The moon fascinates me in so many ways. Because it's an anomaly. It's an enigma. Because it looks spherical. I mean, I know we only ever see one side of it. And it sometimes even appears to be translucent. But at the same time, when you look at it, even when you look in a microscope, you can see, oh, maybe that's a ball. The craters appear to have 3-dimensionality to them. But at the same time, it doesn't. They tell us that it's spinning on an axis. But again, we've never seen the other side of the moon, the so-called dark side. It's a complete anomaly. I'm fascinated by the moon. Lucifer rebelled and mindfucked them. That's Mark the Sparks' comment regarding the Garden of Eden. Yeah, people think Satan, but the mystery schools, the Hermetists, the Gnostics, they teach it was Lucifer. It was the Lucifer spirit in the garden. Technically, the fallen angel they place in the garden is Samael. Everybody, Samael. If you want to know the secret doctrines, understanding on the fall of man, the Garden of Eden, etc., etc. But that's the idea. Samael in the garden, everybody. You heard it here. Mr. 101 says, Aesthetic Warrior, look at my stuff, and you will see, bro. All right, maybe we'll check it out, Mr. 121. Your moon video. Maybe you discovered something. Yep. Yeah. Okay, Mr. 121. Keep it in your pants. Keep it in your pants. Mr. Osborne says, just curious, what would it cost to get Z on the weekend? Weekends aren't for sale. Well, I'm sure there's a number. There's always a number. Just ask that David Weiss, right? Stinky Cash. There's always a number. Stinky, are you really jealous that Mr. Weiss is traveling out beyond the ice wall, that he is now the navigator beyond the ice wall? The navigator that you could have been. Apparently, you missed your chance, Stinky Cash. Oh, well. Sometimes it's just how the cookie crumbles, everybody. Flow State wants to do a mini series of instructional videos with Harmon where he teaches young men how to have charisma. Actually, that's a great idea, Flo. You have to go forward with that one. If you do that, I promise to do my Titanic remake with Jack and Rose as Jack and Rose. I promise. We'll do it 100%. I can't wait to do remakes, man. Like we have Joe Cole here. I'm picturing like Superfly, or maybe we do like Pulp Fiction, where Joe Cole plays the Samuel L. Jackson part, and I, of course, play the Travolta part. Come on, Joe. Maybe you can come up. We'll rehearse it. I'm telling you, this stuff writes itself. Joe Cole with a bad motherfucker wallet. Jules, wasn't it his name? Why is that shit funny to me? Hell, the Harmon doing like the charisma videos is funny to me too. So I must be crazy. I don't know. Must have lost my mind. The fuck do I know? Yeah, Joe Cole's down for it, man. Come on. We'll make this shit go viral. All right, that's enough. Let's get the show started. It's about that time, everybody. So strap on in. Much love. Some good stuff to cover tonight, as always. But yeah, there's no plans for Weekend Z show, but I'm going to do my best to continue to pump out videos and shorts. And we'll keep it going in that fashion. I do enough, guys. This is hours and hours and hours. All right. Let's get going here. Where's my background music? Need to get that together before I begin. Yeah, commercials. I know. I don't care. Keep selling me a bunch of bullshit. All right. We'll make sure my voice is in order. Camera on. Greetings, good people of Earth. Let me adjust this. I have to be careful with my hand signals because so many people are waiting. So they're waiting. Like even I noticed Nachiketa was throwing up the double sixes in one of his videos. It seemed by accident, but what do I know? Be careful about that, Notch. They're going to get you. Mr. Russian Vids is waiting in the background. Much love, Russian Vids. He's one of my big gets on the show. Rose, if you're listening, you know Russian Vids is one of the big fish that I'm going for here on Z Show. Like I said, we've already had Mr. David Weiss here a number of times. I love you, Dave, but you're like a fucking, like a podcast whore, dude. You'll go on any show, like anybody. Just somebody fucking, broadcasting out of their car to like 3 people. Dave's there, shilling that app. So we've had Dave. We need Russian Vids. What do you think, Harmon? Think we can get Russian? Harmon, who do you think we're going to get here first? Russian Vids or Mr. Eric Dubay? I got my money on Dubay. I'm calling him as a long shot. I'm just saying. I don't know what you're saying, Harmon, about a life coach. Maybe tell me later. Official opening commencing right now. Good evening, everybody. Greetings and salutations. You found your way back to Z Show. That's right, folks. It's the end of the rainbow, the bottom of the rabbit hole. And as always, we are broadcasting live and in living color around the level horizontal topographical plane called Earth. All right, folks, it's going to be a great show. As always, welcome back to Moon Day. That's right, Moon Day, everybody. We have some good truthiness ahead, some laughs, and I'm sure we will meet some wonderful people. And as always, I'd like to remind you that a stranger, even on the metaverse, is only a friend you have not met yet. That's right, folks. Much love. Thank you all. Who's here? Let me see who's here. Heidi Divine Spark 313, as always, much love. Lovely, lovely lady. Mr. 121 wants me to check out his moon video. Mr. Flow State, yeah. Flow State says, you massaged Eric, but he didn't come. Well, maybe we'll get him here. Maybe you meant messaged. I don't know. Who knows? The lovely Sarah Breslin and the incomparable Grant. Welcome as always. Mr. Morgan Isabel Live 2.0, who can't stop sweating. Who knows what's it getting warm there in the great white north where you live in Canada. Angela Baby Carson, lovely lady Capricorni. Much love, Mr. Harmon Walker, the man with all the charisma in the house. Mark the Arc Spark coming at us as always. Much love. Nuba from the land of Alcy, Shadow and Light. Beautiful lady who's going to recline and enjoy the Z show. You have it right. The beautiful, the incomparable, the one and only. Don't judge me. Boy, is she a peach. Mr. Joe Cool, alias Jules, in the new remake of Pulp Fiction, the Quentin and Tarantino classic. Cool channel name, much love to you, Mr. Three Fingers, and so many more gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, lovely people. Fantastic, everybody. All right. We have plenty of show coming up in a few. But in the meantime, please enjoy the music of the show. All right, everybody. Much love. See you in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. More Z show in a moment. Thank you for being here. As always, lovely people. Come on, music. Where are you? There you are. Much love, all.
Climbing up on Salisbury Hill, I could see the city lights. Wind was blowing, time stood still.
Yeah, come
Eagle
on.
flew out of the night. He was something to observe. Came in close, I heard a voice, standing, stretching every nerve. Had to listen, had no choice. I did not believe the information. I just had to trust imagination. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Son, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Hey, don't quit. To keep in silence, I resigned. My friends would think I was a nut, turning water into wine. Open doors would soon be shut. So I went from day to day, Though my life was in a rut, till I thought of what I'd say, which connection I should cut. I was feeling part of the scenery. I walked right out of the machinery. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, he said, grab your things, I've come to take you home. Hey, back home. When illusions spin her net, I'm never where I want to be, and liberty she pirouette when I think that I am free, watched by empty silhouettes who close their eyes but still can see. No one taught them etiquette. I will show another me. Today I don't need a replacement. I'll tell them what the smile on my face meant. My heart going boom, boom, boom. Hey, I said, you can keep my things, they've come to take me home. 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 That sounds good, doesn't it? Home.
Yeah, baby. Bringing it
This
home.
is Apocalypse Cabaret. I'm your host, Nathan, singing our way through the apocalypse.
That's right, my
one
friend.
song at a time.
Bingo. Best apocalypse ever because of you, Nathan. Because of you. It's the greatest. Bring it on, apocalypse. Apocalypse schmocalypse. We have Nathan. What do you have? All you doom and gloomers, all you preppers, you fearmongers. I don't need like canned goods. I don't need munitions. I have Nathan. He's getting me through the apocalypse. Who's with me? Who is with me? It is an apocalypse, whatever that means. The unveiling, the revelation, etc., etc., etc. Either way, we're all here together. Much love, everybody. Much love. All right, let's get into some stuff. Who's with me? Who's with me? Angela says she'll feed me. She'll feed me through the apocalypse. Thank you, Angela. I know where to go when the shit hits the fan. That's right. Mr. One says we've got straws. We've got microwaves. That'll get us through. All right, let's get into some stuff. But before we do that, let's let up Mr. Harmon. Harmon, welcome back to Z Show. Good sir.
Thank you for letting me on your show.
Howdy.
Well, first thing on
How's
Rose.
up?
Rose was some people were calling it intervention in her chat. A life coach, if you don't know what a life coach is, they focus on the individual, including their aspirations and their goals and stuff, trying to show where their weaknesses are so they can be stronger, because she's trying to make him where he doesn't ban people so easy and get mad at people and stuff like that. And basically feeling sorry for himself. So then she had a life coach come on at the end.
Wait a second. Okay. So you're bringing up the stream that Rose just did with Jack?
Yes.
Interesting. So I did see there was a lady in there. So it was a life coach. Okay, Harmon. Well, you know what that means. We're going to have to get into it. So let's check it out. And we're going to give our review of what you're categorizing. I haven't really seen it yet. As an intervention that Rose staged for Jack. Now, I don't know that. I can't categorize that as such at this moment. I'm going to reserve judgment. But I will say, Mr. Harmon, I am quite excited to review this for many, many reasons. Let me bring it up.
I took it like he was a puppy dog needs help, and she was trying to help him.
Well, that might not be as far off as, you're categorizing it, man. I mean, here's the thing we know about Rose. She's a busybody. She injects herself into people's lives, whether wanted or unwanted. She kind of just moseys right on in, sidles in into people's lives. So, I mean, it's not unexpected that now she has her sights set on the one and only Mr. Talcott. I'm not surprised, man.
Yeah, she was all positive, trying to like it. I told her in the chat, I just realized she has what you call a forever smile. I said it's infectious. She's always smiling. She
is. Sometimes I wonder, Harmon, if there's some pain behind that smile, because here's the thing. I've never caught Rose like in a cross mood. I've never caught her like off. And I wonder if she's just cultivated a certain level of consciousness and mentality at this point where she can just shine no matter what, right? Like turn that frown upside down. Or if there's some, maybe some stuff going on that maybe either we're not in touch with or she's not in touch with. What are your thoughts?
I've seen it through the chats that she didn't like and stuff. She'll never make a bad comment. She just leaves. Doesn't say anything. She just goes on and goes to the next one. And if you find out you're talking about stuff she don't like and stuff that she goes, well, I don't, I didn't like that. She won't say that. She'll just say, all right, I got to go. And she just leaves. So I like how she handles that. Like you said to people, if they don't like your show, they don't have to watch you.
But you don't have to watch it. Here's the thing, dude. It's YouTube, Harmon. Look, if somebody is hate watching somebody persistently, and then on top of that, trolling them actively, that says more about the individual perpetrating it than on the one receiving it, man. It's a crazy thing, dude.
Yep, I don't get it. That's what I say, Rose. If she doesn't like somebody's what they're saying at that day, she might like them the next day, but that day she just moves on to the next place. I like that about her. I really heard her say really nothing negative.
Same here. I noticed, Mr. Harmon, your audio setup is working out really well for you. It sounds good. You have the headphones on. Everything sounds great.
Flo kept spanking my ass about that.
Well, here's the thing, dude. There's a couple things. One, it's easier on the listeners when the audio is better. And two, if you're going to be on, Harmon, for extended periods of time, it's better if you can use a more natural voice. You're not projecting across the room. There's a lot of reasons. But all right, let's get into this. Let's get into this Rose and Jack thing. I had other stuff, Harmon, that I wanted to get into, but I saw this today, and this obviously went to the top of my queue. So let's go into it. All right.
All right. Let me go through it so I can see highlights where she was doing it.
Poppycock. We try to navigate this world through a single nothing ever ends.
What was that?
29-minute mark. Try that.
Wait, hold on. All right, let me get the intro first, and we'll go from there. I want to see how they start off.
All right.
So look, she has music performed by Conspiracy Music Guru.
Right.
Original music. See, Rose is like a somebody in the truth community because people just do like this kind of stuff for her. I have it on high authority, Harmon, that when Rose speaks, people act like she moves. She moves people around like the truth community, like big players too, man. Like I said, she's the one really operating the truth community from the shadows. What are your thoughts when I say that, Harmon? Harmon, like people think. Yeah, because people think I'm joking. Harmon, if you only knew how she's involved with everybody, like she weaves a spider web. Like, that saying at Bohemian Grove? There's like a sign when people come in, says like weaving spiders come not here or something. Well, Rose is that weaving spider in the background again. I think it's her lineage. I think it's her genetics and heritage. We see
Plus,
how these
her memory is so good. That's the thing about it.
right. Exactly. And we see how they act. We see how the those people act. I mean, come on. They seem to be the intelligence agency for the entire world, the Mossad, the bankers running things from the shadows. So, I mean, she's a natural. So why not have Rose run the truth community? All right, let's get to the beginning. Let's get past the intro.
Hello and welcome to the Rose 777 channel. And I'm not here with Wayne. I'm here with Jack today. We decided to just play the Poppycock Report song because since
Do you know who Wayne is, Harmon? Wayne McCroy?
No.
Gotcha. So the first thing I want to notice about Jack is he has a fresh shirt on. He has a button shirt. Top button is down. And he may have even pressed the shirt or at least put it in the dry. So here's my take on Jack. He's not going to go so far as to get the ironing board out and the hot iron, but he'll take like a wrinkled shirt, like halfway down in his hamper basket, and he'll throw it like in the dryer on low just to fluff it. He might even put a dryer sheet in there. And so he probably went through some effort to cultivate his look for the Rose 777 show. Any thoughts on Jack's aesthetic, Harmon?
No, I really don't know him that well. I just know him through you, and so that's about all I know. And then through the Flow show a little bit.
Yeah. So, on Dr. Ryan, it says if you listen to Wayne McCroy's been on there like a bunch of times. And guess what, Ryan? He'll be on the Z show in a week from now. A little more than a week. April 9th, we will be having special guest Wayne McCroy. Do not miss that show. I am forecasting that it will be one of my better guests. Mark it in your calendars. April 9th, which I believe is a Tuesday. Mr. Wayne McCroy will be here.
And Mr. Undoctrinated Ryan, I don't listen to crows much at all. I just haven't got into that part of him yet. And everybody says to, but I just don't.
All right, let's go.
Since I haven't done an episode in such a long time and it's such a good song, we just shouldn't let it go to waste. And I just have a new person here, and we're going to be discussing reversing the poppycock of the world, which is part of our covert operation. But it wouldn't be a covert operation if we just came out onto a YouTube stream and discussed the details of it. So
right there, naturally, her covert operation has layers. It's multi-tiered, of course. Rose isn't going to just have some like simple, basic, half-baked plan, Harmon. She's going to come in with a plan that is detailed. Again, weaving spiders. It's basically. Let's continue. I like that. Jack doesn't know what he's in for. Like I said, Harmon, I don't know who's more diabolical, Rose or Jack. See, they may be the perfect team, Mr. Harmon, because Jack wants the spotlight. Jack wants to be there in front of the camera, in front of the UN. He wants CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC all interviewing him. He wants his face plastered all across the multimedia. Where Rose, again, she likes to wield her power from the shadows. This could be a match made in heaven or hell, depending on your perspective.
So there may be a covert operation that is more covert than any covert operation that we may allude to or that you may suspect. So we're here to keep everyone on their toes. But welcome to my show, Jack. It is an honor to have you all to myself for the first time.
Rose, it is such an honor to be here. And that opening song, Poppycock, it was beautiful. That was exactly... Things work out. And thank you, my friend. I love this too. Yeah.
Jack is the master of like the effusive, gushing, pandering, fawning response. That's Jack. He's the master of it. And he plays it perfectly. Now, I don't know, Harmon, I like that you don't know much about Jack because you can get like a unbiased perspective. So the word on Jack is, if you see the fireplace mantle behind him, he broadcasts from his home. However, his home apparently is no longer in his possession. He no longer has the lease and ownership to his home. And word on the street is that he is now officially non-compliant with his, let's say, legal agreement to vacate his home. So who knows how much longer we're going to see Mr.
Oh, that's who they were
Outside.
talking about. They were talking about, I didn't know who they were talking about on Flo's channel. They talked about that. And he was supposed to be out at midnight a couple of nights ago, or about a week ago or so. And he's still staying there.
Yeah, exactly. So who knows? Who knows? Harmon, a lot of people are encouraging Jack to take the fireplace mantle with him to somehow crowbar it off and leave with nothing but the fireplace mantle. And they want to see it. It's become his, like, it's his brand.
It's a staple. So you take a picture of it and put it on a green screen or something.
Yeah.
Yes, the covert may be deceiving because we are here publicly, obviously, overtly discussing the covert, but there are layers and layers to all things. And Rose, you know that.
Oh yeah, because Jack, the thing is that we are all on such an exciting adventure full of so many possibilities that really part of the covert operation is preparing ourselves for any possibilities and opportunities and windows and doors and business relationships or world domination tactics.
See, Harmon, you see what I mean? You get these two in a room, and within minutes, it's right to world domination, just like I called it. Just like I called it. It just goes right to dominate. Look in Rose's eyes, the glee that Rose achieves.
Well, that look right there is a little devious. It's like she has a plan, like you said. She knows what she's doing. She's spinning her web right there.
Harmon,
right?
you think people think I'm joking when I basically give this narrative on Rose. It's not a joke. She fucking is going for complete and utter world domination. It appears as though she's courting Mr. Jack Talcott at this point as her unwitting puppet. So here's what I think's going on, Mr. Harmon, is that Rose understands that for her to basically achieve the level of power that she so desires, she needs a puppet. She needs a guy who she can put in office and basically pull the strings from behind the scenes. Well, Jack's the perfect character because Jack really doesn't want to do the work. He doesn't want to make the decisions. He doesn't really want to think. Jack wants the accolades. Jack wants the spotlight. Rose is the perfect puppet master for Jack. I'm telling you, when these two met, the world changed forever.
That we could involve ourselves in. But the thing is that we need to position ourselves so that at the moment that the opportunity presents itself, we are ready to take it.
That's the goal. And what I see, can we just jump in here? I mean, for the future and what the plans are.
Oh yeah, I want to go into detail about what you see for the future, what your vision is.
See, that's straight what life coaches say.
Are, and
what?
That's what life coaches say. They want him to show where his weaknesses are. So he needs to go to the future. What are your plans for the future? How are you success? How are you going to change what you're doing? And like that. That's what she's laying the foundation for.
Oh, well, she knows. Well, Jack's into that. That's his whole thing. He walked on hot coals once, Harmon, for the, what's his name? The Tony, you know who Tony Robbins is? The life coach?
Yes.
Okay, so Jack went to like a Tony Robbins convention, getaway retreat, and walked on hot coals. And
I don't believe it.
So Rose knows how to play right into Jack. See, here's the thing. I'd warned Jack about Rose, But I think Jack knows, like they're basically playing each other just in different ways. They're perfectly complementary. Jack as the puppet leader and Rose as the true power behind the throne. This is
You see what Flow State
100%.
said? You see what Flow State said? He says Jack is courting her too. He's definitely power hungry. Okay.
Exactly. So Flow State and I are on the same page with this one. Look, Flow State and I have observed both of these two individuals for long enough to understand the dynamic here. Again, everybody, watch out.
And steps that I can take right now to assist you in realizing your vision. But ultimately, we all know that our adventures are up to us to make happen. But it is also true that as human beings, we are social and community minded by nature. Maybe the kind of systems that we've grown up with and been brainwashed by have taught us otherwise, that it's a dog eat dog world. But I think that part of the solution is removing scarcity, or at least the perception of it. So I am welcoming you, me, and everyone listening to be open to the possibility of people reaching out for help and then receiving it, while also being open to the possibility that the help that comes our way may not be the help that we want, but actually the help that we need.
Oh my God, she's a mastermind. I'm watching her spin that intricate web right now, and I'm like, I can't keep up with her because I know she's the definition of like, 3D chess.
Yeah, she's 3 moves ahead of you.
Right. She's moving in multiple dimensions that are really hard to conjecture. But I see her doing it. Like I could see it, and I noticed how she said she wants to remove scarcity, or at least the perception of scarcity. It reminds me of any true communist state, Harmon. You present the people.
Well, State just said, he said, bro, she's engineering a perfect jack trap.
Yeah, exactly. We're watching it. She's spinning the web. And she's offering to alleviate scarcity like any good communist dictator does. You know, you give them bread, Jack. You give them bread. You give them coal in the wintertime. And you make sure they have their basics of life met, their base necessities. And at the same time, then you exploit them for their goods, their services, and their resources. Like any good Jewish Zionist Bolshevik, Rose is moving right in. This is exactly what they did to Russia. This is exactly how they instituted the Leninist, Stalinist movement with the Communist Party to form the USSR. And Rose is doing the same tactics here on Jack. It's the same stuff over and over again. As above, so below. As within, without. She's just using the tried and true tactics of any person bent on complete and total world domination.
Wow. That last little bit, that has been the lesson of my life, I think. That the help I was hoping to receive, I was praying to receive, it wasn't what I got. But that path of whatever, the adventure, the life adventure that we're living, it's brought me to here. And the future I see, the goal that I'm trying to achieve, what I've resolved within myself is the power of truth. The power of truth will free us individually and collectively. Because the more my life has afforded me time to detach from the world, right? I've had a lot of time on my own the past several years to really study, learn, reflect, and try to understand. The power of truth is no joke. When we humble ourselves to the truth, what I found for myself is that's where I can find peace. Because the truth is, I live in this moment. We live in this moment. And if I can find peace in this moment, that's half the battle. I just got to remember to keep finding the peace in the new moment, because the peace is always there. And the truth
I love it when Jack starts saying this stuff because in my head I'm like, okay, is he? It almost is like he's talking to himself, like trying to convince himself as he's saying it, and I could relate with that, Jack. That happens to me sometimes. I'm like, oh, this is the part I have to talk, and then I just basically say a bunch of stuff, and I'm giving advice, and then afterwards I'm like, oh, I was just giving myself advice, like I was like giving it to people, but it was like about me. Which is interesting, Harmon. I've often thought of this idea of advice that in the end, all advice may be completely bullshit and just a projection, dude. That's why I'm less and less apt to give advice to people. Like Harmon, in my life, if I meet somebody and they're going through a problem or they, they're giving me their sob story, I'll give them an empathetic ear. I'll listen, but I don't anymore like give them some bullshit advice because I realized one time, like, oh, I'm just like projecting. I might as well put a mirror in front of my face as I'm giving my bullshit advice because I'm giving it to myself. It's about my own shortcomings and stuff. What are your thoughts, Harmon, about bullshit
100%.
advice?
Because it doesn't matter what you tell them. They're not going to hear you anyway, even if you tell them something good. So it is bullshit advice, no matter how you do. You just got to listen and say, okay. When you say anything I can do, and they say no, so then let them. We all went through our own, right? You've gone through your own. Did you go to somebody telling boohoo story? I didn't. I don't know about you. It's just, hey, that's the way life is, right? I guess no.
All right, let's continue.
Truth led me to that consideration, and then when I find the peace in the moment that allows me to feel appreciation and gratitude, and that shows me that love is there in the moment. Taking the ideas of the Hermetic principles, the micro is the macro.
I love it. Jack's jumping on the Hermetic principles,
right.
Jack, and I released that this morning. That makes me feel good, Harmon. That makes me
what
feel
it is,
good.
I remember what he just did. See, I just rarely got. You said I don't know him. I only know him from like Thursday, and he had doxed his son and all them, and did a lot of stuff, and he had a grandbaby. He just had a grandbaby, and so.
Wow. Wait, hold on, audience. Wait, Flow State, Cynthia. Why am I just finding out about Jack's grandson? Why am I just finding out? Sorry, Harmon. Go ahead. Why did I have to hear this from Harmon? Go ahead, please.
I got it from Flo. Anyway, gotcha. So listen to his show. And so what he did is, I guess they don't have any family communication. He doesn't have any family communications, and it's set boundaries where it's supposed to be, right? They're not communicating. So I guess they have a gift list. You know how you go to Target or whatever those things are, those lists you can buy stuff for people on. I guess he gave that address and list out to his followers on his channel.
Wait, whoa.
Ask Flo to come up.
He said he's going to. Hold up. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did you just tell me that Jack gave the address out to his son's registry? See, Jack.
Yes, on his channel. And I'm saying, dude, you don't know what those people will send them. Now they can send them anything. They could hate, they could do. You don't do that. Especially, they don't want nothing from Jack, from what Flo is teaching me. They want nothing to do with him. And so, but yet he did this. So that's all this stuff to me now he's saying after I learned about that is BS.
So here's the thing. Harmon. One of the great goals, the hopes and dreams of many people here in the Panaverse community is to see Jack reunited with his son. This goes on. This is deep lore, as it's sometimes called, Mr. Harmon. And this idea that Jack will reconcile with his son at some point is the great hope of many. Now, I'm not sure, Mr. Talcott, that placing your son's address, his physical address, and doxing it in front of the community. And Harmon, you know this community. You see the people who run around here. The snafus,
why would you do that?
The snafus, the truther cops. These people, many of these people. Jack, look, here's the thing, Harmon. This is why he is Jack Talcott. This is why, because he's one of a kind. He's original. And he has a boyish-like charm and innocence that, frankly, has endeared so many to him. But let's continue. This is This is already crazier than I thought it was going to be, but by orders of magnitude, Harmon. Let's continue. Oh,
The macro, as within, as without, what should work for the one should work for the many, in theory. So I figure if we can find a way to
Harmon, what do you think about Jack using the Hermetic principles after I just released the video? And great, Jack, but here's the thing. Are you also watching my Flat Earth videos, Jack? Stop ignoring the Flat Earth topic. If we can
Is
get
that one
Talcott
under
to
correspondent or number 2 under correspondent?
I don't know, man.
Polarity one.
All I'm saying is, if we can get Jack to flip and be a flat earther, the Flat Earth community may then get the hero it maybe didn't want, but the hero it certainly needs.
You know him better than I do.
To unite together, those of us who are living this adventure of life today. If we can find a way to unite together, we can overcome the divisions that our
What happened? I just went to let Cynthia up, and she fucking left. Where'd you go, Cynthia? I just went to let her up, and she fucking left. All right, we'll keep going. Maybe she'll come back. People want to add. See, here's the thing, Harmon. You're just getting introduced to Mr. Talcott. You'll be surprised how many people are compelled to this gentleman.
corporations and our governments have created. And we were born into a world where we've been brainwashed. We've been conditioned to believe that these governments and these...
Hi, Cynthia. Welcome to Z Show.
Hi, Z. Hi, Harmon. Real quick, I had something to add. So today, a commenter in Jack's chat said, Jack, your son's good-looking young man. He must get it from his mama. I sent him a message through Facebook, said, I watch your show. He blocked me and told me to F off. Like, there's some really people that have bad intentions. And even though you can do something with good intentions or good in heart, doesn't mean that people won't flip it on you. And this is an example of that. And I'm sure this is just the first of many to come, which is sad.
Well, Cynthia, you know, it's to my knowledge that wasn't the first time that Jack's son was contacted regarding him as a social media personality, and the son has rejected it consistently over and over again. I mean, who knows? Cynthia, I wouldn't want somebody posting my address on the metaverse.
Absolutely not. But I just wanted to come up and add that real quick, because y'all were saying people would do that, and they obviously have. So
yeah. All right. Well, if you want to hang with us, go ahead. If not,
no, I'm at work, but I'm sure Flo's going to come up and he'll tell you more.
All right.
I'll catch you later tonight, Cynthia.
All right.
Much love, Cynthia.
Bye.
Much love. What's up, Cynthia? Everybody. She's another one who's very keen on following Mr. Jack. All right, let's continue. Let's continue, Harmon.
And these corporations have so much power that we can't do anything.
Yeah. Now, I'm not trying to be nitpicky of what you're saying. I'm just trying to get to a more specific explanation of what you're just.
Good luck with that, Rose. That's the Jack thing. There's no specifics. Rose, come on. That's the Jack thing. It's just generalized. It's diffuse. It's basically slogans. Don't ask him for details. Rose, that's what you're here for. You're here for the details. Again, Jack is the brand. Okay? Jack is the face of the organization, Rose. When it comes to actual nitty-gritty and a plan, that's you. Come on. Here's the thing, Harmon. They need me, basically. I need to be the third leg of this triumvirate here, this tripod. Your thoughts, Harmon? Do they need Synthetic Warrior in this little scheme of theirs?
It wouldn't have hurt. And then when they brought the life coach in, I guess she was a version of you.
Okay, yeah, let's continue. I can't believe there's a fucking left coach associated with this. Like, oh my god.
Describing, and you said what works for one should work for the many. So automatically my brain goes to try and figure out holes in that. And I think, well, I am so weird, even though it might be part of some kind of vaccine damage. I don't like strawberries. And so many people love strawberries and they're so good for you, but they just don't work for me. And so that's the way that I'm different. But instead of thinking of,
I understand her point, Harmon. I've never heard anybody ever say they don't like strawberries. Your thoughts?
Me either. That's a new one. I like how and I think like Flo said, he's setting her up. She's setting her web. Just, you called it right. I never thought of it like a spider web.
Of course, they're playing each other, but Jack doesn't understand. Rose cannot be outplayed. They're playing each other, and Rose will win every time. See, Rose is like, okay, do you ever go like in the park, Harmon, like in New York, right? You can go and there's people playing chess in the park, right?
Right.
But every once in a while, there'll be like a little kid, like a little girl in the park, and she'll be playing chess, but against like 12 people at once. And she'll just beat all 12 people. This is Rose. As she's spinning this web.
But you know what? The thing about what makes it so good with Rose, she's sincere. She really is doing it for a good intention. She really is. And she wants him to see his error, her ways, the way she's trying to show him. That's what I get.
All right, well, we'll let it play out.
Thinking of, oh, strawberries don't work for me and they work for others, so therefore we're different. Maybe we need to reframe our minds to think, oh, well, that just means that if I find a strawberry, I give it to you. And then if you find something that I like, you give it to me. So we're still working together. And
here's the problem. What if there's not enough strawberries for everybody? Harmon, that's always the chink in everybody's utopic plan. It's great when there's plenty of strawberries. Saying, oh, would you like some of my strawberries? Sure. Because if I run out, I'll just go to the store and get more strawberries, or I'll just go pick them. What if there's no more strawberries?
Well, it's wintertime, no more strawberries.
Yeah. What if, like, I don't know, like a pandemic is instituted and there's like no more toilet paper and you have to like wipe your ass with tree bark again? People get crazy, Harmon. People hoard. Look, utopias are great when there's enough. But again, this is Rose instituting her Zionist-like Bolshevik tendencies onto the populace. They promised all those fucking Russian people. They promised them a utopian dream of communism. Next thing you know, there was bread lines. Like around the corner, people were starving. They were eating each other during the cold Russian winter.
You can't eat words.
Work.
You can't eat words. Right? You can't eat the words.
Cooperation, and it's the cooperation that is working for us. So when you say working for one should work for the many, I think that specifically we need to focus on the cooperation and acceptance of the diversity. What do you think of that?
I love what you said. Absolutely. A celebration and an acceptance of the diversity. Where I was referring to the applying one to the other, it's specifically in the context of the truth.
So, Harmon, there's a question from the chat. Venus Cupcake asks, Z, why are you calling Rose a Zionist? I'm confused. Venus Cupcake, are you watching the same person that Harmon and I am watching? She might be the most Jewiest, jappiest person ever to grace the airways of YouTube. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about?
He's not putting her down. He's not putting her down at all. It's not a put down what he's saying.
No, I'm talking about Venus Cupcake in the chat.
I'm telling Venus. No, I'm telling Venus that you're not putting Rose down by what you're saying. In a way, you're complimenting her and her way she does things.
Right, I'm complimenting her and her people.
Right.
They have a matter. They have a matter and a way of conducting themselves. One
Venus
of order.
You're not complimenting her. She doesn't understand. You're complimenting that she's mastered her craft.
Exactly. Venus, I mean Zionist in the most wonderful way that anybody could ever use that word, Venus. That's oh my God. Oh, this is classic.
Truth. I know, I trust the truth will free our world. If you take the way I see it is, if we bring in the mythologies and the ideas, the concepts of the Bible, that this is the fallen world and that, you know, the kingdom of heaven is still here.
The way he does that little Jack giggle still gets me after all this time. It's amazing.
I worship the truth like it's God. If mankind followed that,
Please, somebody clip that.
we wouldn't be trusting in authority. We wouldn't be trusting in experts. We'd be consulting experts and consulting authority, but we wouldn't be obeying them or relying on them. So, Rose, the simple solution I see: secrets and lies cannot be legal. If we want to live in a world of peace and prosperity and abundance, mankind must simply stop lying to each other.
So, Harmon, Jack wants to outlaw secrets and lies basically at the end of a gun. He wants to make them illegal at this point where I love it, man. Jack, Harmon, this is the beginnings of like what I'm picturing is like the day that Fidel Castro like met Che Guevara and they decided, hey, we're going to lead like a communist revolution, or just like the day E.I. Lenin like decided that collectivism was like the way to go and then began to institute it. We're watching it here.
I like your Castro and Che analogy. That's the perfect one.
Right, exactly. This is the beginning of like a communist upheaval, like a revolution of biblical proportions, one in which we install Mr. Talcott as the leader of of the known world. This is where it's all happening right here. We're watching it. Remember, I called it here first, everybody.
Well, if you can't stop people from lying to each other, we at least need to make it illegal and find ways for there to be a social consequence for people to commit fraud. So if I want to stand on the curb while you're walking by and say, Jack, the sky is magenta, because I really like that color. I believe in that color. That color makes me feel good. And I also want to be in charge of what people believe the sky's color is. I don't think that there necessarily needs to be a social consequence, other than some people might use that information to affect their relationship with me and how much time they want to spend with me. But if I'm going to say, Jack, you need to pay me $25 and the sky is going to be fuchsia tomorrow, and I'm knowingly deceiving you, then I think there needs to be a more severe consequence for that.
Jack's like, no, that's not far enough, Rose. Disagreement is disobedience in the Talcottian world. Shout out to Illumitami. Disagreement is disobedience, slaves. No lies in the Talcottian dystopia. Also, Harmon, Talcott's a total vegan, man.
No way.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's, personally, my thoughts on veganism is, I think meat's supposed to be in our diet. Yeah, and I love animals too, and I was raised on an animal farm, but I think meat is part of our diet.
I will say though, Harmon, Jack looks well, man. It might just be the shirt. It might just be, I don't know. Like it's whatever he's doing is working for him. He almost has that like in the 90s we called it a heroin chic, Harmon. Do you remember that term?
No.
It's basically like wafy thin. Like think Kurt Cobain of Nirvana, or like Kate that Kate Moss supermodel from the 90s. Basically, like the thinner you could be, the better. Thin is beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think
Yeah,
Jack has that look going for him, man. I think he fucking nailed it.
they had a problem in the military. They tried to, because everybody's on a fat boy program. If you get over a certain weight, they make you on a certain program strict to watch your weight. And so they complained so much. So they said, what about the skinny guys? They're too skinny. So, of course, they did a thing to them, and they did all the studies, and they found out the skinnier you were, the more healthy you were. That's just what they found out. So is that what you're saying?
Well, it tends to be true. It tends to be true. And I would agree with you that animal products of some sort are very likely necessary for a healthy human diet. Not medical advice, everybody, but I'm just saying.
Oh, don't say we weren't supposed to eat eggs and chickens or fish. Come on, fish is made there. They can't be there for pets. They can't be there to get along. They were made to feed the people. Look how many people live on the oceans and stuff and live off the fish.
Good point.
You know,
Here's where my views are slightly different than many others. You're presenting a beautiful, yes. I agree that there needs to be better ways to deal with these lies. I'm not a proponent of punishment. I am a proponent of correction. I believe that we can help each other correct and learn what is true. The first example, the harmless lie from personal preference.
Flo, say welcome to the show.
Thank you. I do believe he eats meat. Just because he doesn't look sickly enough to be vegan.
Right.
So you think he's bullshitting about the vegan thing? You think he's sneaking meat, huh?
I don't. Yeah, I think that he grabs any and every virtue signal he can get, but he doesn't look like he's about to drop dead like most vegans do.
Well, here's the funny thing. He says he's a total vegan except for honey. Now, I noticed, Flo, that I was listening to you last night. You think that something's afoot with certain people in these communities, and people on your show were wondering about Mr. Talcott and whether or not he's complicit into some of the things that he plays naive or dumb regarding. Okay, would you like to elucidate that a bit more regarding maybe the thought on Jack? And is he a little bit slyer than he seems? Because here's the thing, Jack. I want to say this, Flo State. I'm gonna give it to you. I think Jack is fucking, what's the term? Like crazy like a fox, or I think he's very sly. I think he's more cunning than people would believe. Mm-hmm. But he can't hold a candle to Rose. So if these two are going to try to play each other, he already lost before he even started because Rose can't be beat in this game. Go ahead.
I don't know that I think you're right. I do before I truly love watching the power lust in Rose. Her facial expressions are fantastic. I'm getting kind of a power boner over here just looking at how much of a power boner she has. But Jack, I think that he's got a I'm trying to dodge around like kind of tacky words like narcissism, but he's a vulnerable narcissist and he's got a parasitic lifestyle. And if you've known somebody like this, they attack you by being your victim, right? You did this to me, you didn't help me, blah, blah, blah. And it's like a blitz. And have you ever been deep sea fishing?
No, but that sounds pretty cool.
When you pull in like a tuna or something big, you don't just reel it all the way straight in. You like pull it in some and then let some slack out of the line. And then you go again and pull it in some more. So it's incremental. And you can see him do that with people, right? He'll pull them in some, then he'll snap on them and get them out. And then he'll forgive them, you know? And he plays this tug and release with people. I've said from the beginning, I think that he and Paul are both playing power games with each other. They just have a different method of going about it. I'm inclined to think that Paul would win, but I have to admit that in hindsight, it seems like Jack very well may have been using me tactically against Paul. Not that
Well,
I mind that.
I think that's my point of flow state, and you went way deep in there. So thank you for that fucking
That's what she said.
analysis. You went pretty deep, but you said you almost are agreeing with me though, in a sense where my whole point was Jack is like smarter than he lets on, and there's a vulnerable nature to him, but it's a tactical vulnerability.
Right.
So I think we don't agree exactly, but I think we're closer. We're closer on this issue.
Well, so you can watch these behaviors in people and not know exactly whether it's intentional and malicious or accidental and flaky, right? But when I saw the way that he handled his son the other day, that was it. That let me know how his actions were motivated, because that was pure malice.
Okay, so let's get into this, because the first thing I thought was by him putting the registry up into this public domain, if indeed that happened. I don't know. I have not confirmed that. That was my first thought, was like, oh, that's kind of like a passive aggressive move. Is that what you're getting at?
I think that it was just aggressive. It was an aggressive move. It did have plausible deniability to an audience, but if you pay attention to the way he framed it up, right? The way he brought the topic up at all is he asked the panel. He goes, "I don't know what I should do with this. Is it appropriate for me to bring it public?" So he's well aware. He states up front that this could be an inappropriate thing, and then he went ahead and went forward with it anyways. And started patting himself on the back for trying to help people get gifts to his son. That to me, if I'm putting myself in his son's shoes, that looks like Duper's delight to me.
Interesting.
He just said that he knew he was stomping on a line. He stomped on it, and now he's giving himself praises in front of a crowd.
Interesting. So you're saying it was a breach of the boundary of the son to do that, which may evidence why.
Why it literally was.
Yeah, which may evidence why the son has chosen this particular course of action. Now, here's the thing. I would love to see Mr. Talcott reunited with his son, and now a grandchild on the way. That would be a wonderful, I think, happy ending to a certain chapter in this whole metaversal saga. But given the latest developments, it's not looking good. And my three fingers just keep saying, just wait with this video. So can it get worse? I don't know. I'm going to keep.
Did you watch Jack and Rose video?
Yeah. Have you watched this?
I don't know. I haven't watched it. Just what you've played so far. I'm really excited. Rose, I know you're listening to this. Please don't stop having that power lust in your eyes. It's fantastic.
you like that, huh? Hey, did you hear what Cynthia said earlier? Did you hear what Cynthia said, Flo?
I don't think so. I heard when she came
said,
on, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. She came on and said that someone already went on his son's Facebook and said something to him and stuff like that, and of course they blocked him and said fuck off.
Yeah. So the timing, I watched Jack wait to time this until right when Paul started restreaming him like he does every day. He waited until both channels were open.
This is so strange. God, it just gets deeper and deeper. It really does. This is never ending in so many ways.
You're so funny.
Oh my.
And like an hour ago, I said something in Jack's chat, and he goes, "Flow State, please see your way out. I don't want you in my life." And so I came back. He blocked me, and I came back with my backup account. And I said, "I will absolutely not honor that ironic request. If there's one thing I learned from Jack Talcott coaching, it's to disregard other people's boundaries." And so, yeah, let's play.
Reference, I don't know that I can really discount that, but the idea that people will deceive, just blatantly deceive for no reason other than
Flow State, do you think Jack's handsome?
That's a weird question.
I don't mean I mean, like, do you think he would be regarded as handsome? Let's say
I don't need to speculate. I know that he is. Did you see the comments on the Kendra G thing?
No, but I heard. I
Yeah.
got reports.
So I think that the thing that might be working against him in real life is that he's pretty damn short.
I know he's shorter than I thought. I never thought that he was short, relatively speaking, but I would say yes, he's objectively handsome, especially for his age.
He looks a weirdo to me and pale. I wouldn't.
Oh,
let him-
he's
I wouldn't let
he's
him
a
babysit my kid.
You wouldn't at all, Harmon. I know you wouldn't. But the thing is, he has a certain, I don't know, a certain je ne sais quoi, so to speak. And he's got a look. He's got a look. And I'll just leave it at that.
Other than selfish motives. It's a sickness that mankind has. Not only, we haven't just accepted the sickness of selfishness, we've literally been enabling it in each other. The only reason our society has billionaires today is because they've convinced a lot of other people to go along with their plans, whether they're employees, whether they're customers, whether they're advertisers, whatever. Selfishness has been enabled and it's been rewarded. So I think if we want to change the world, that's how we do it. We start confronting each other politely, honestly, authentically, saying, hey, this isn't true. And then just as it was explained elsewhere, when we have disagreements, we can go get another caring and loving witness, and together we can determine, we can find what is true.
So Flow State, this is the consistent utopia that Jack has been presenting for the more than a year that I've known him now. The Talcadian dream, let's call it. Now, you know, Rose is listening to this and she's like, yeah, that's great, Jack. None of that's going to work.
She's too smart for that shit.
She's like, no, we need to be brutal. We need to institute like total top-down control, militaristic, to say the least. She knows, and this is my Flow State. This is my whole point: is that this is why this is the perfect combo, because Jack can get up in front of the UN, he can get on TV, and he could promote this bullshit. He can promote the, you know, peace on earth, Talcadian utopia, and Rose could do all the dirty work in the background to get it done. Jack's a perfect puppet leader. Go ahead.
Let me maybe present it in a different angle. Jack, when Jack's pushing his socialist utopia narrative, it's obviously a practically absurd suggestion. I don't think he's actually suggesting that. I think that what he's doing, the dynamics between them, he's breaking her down. When he does his little spiels about how the world is bad and da 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 da, he doesn't ever directly accuse his audience, but they're included in it. So, you know, without saying it, the takeaway I think that it has on a lot of people is they're guilty, but he didn't call them guilty. You know what I mean? This is part of the vulnerable narcissism. I think he's going at Rose. He's power moving on her.
Wow, interesting. But Rose can just take it. Like he can sit there.
Oh, yeah.
Like she'll let him punch himself out. So she'll sit there.
Right.
You know that move in boxing where you let the guy punch himself out, and then when he's tired, you just fucking take him out. That's what Rose could do. She'll just sit there, let him swing, let him move, let him bob. And then when she's ready, she'll just make her move and just, you know, annihilate him.
I don't know Rose as well as I know Jack, but I do think Rose can certainly, from what I know of her, I'm not too worried about her, but this will be interesting to watch if this could turn into a good long season.
I think that can work in small cases with families, with communities, but at the same time, I believe it can work throughout the nation and the world too. Do you think?
Sorry, I just was copying and pasting a link, but I definitely agree that
she's like, do you think? And then he waited with bated anticipation.
I think they both know the game they're playing.
That's true, dude.
She just volleyed it back and he knows it. He's like, damn, good spike.
Oh my God. I told you, man.
See, this look. YouTube is cluster B personality disorder paradise.
Oh God.
All these interactions should be looked at through that lens.
Look, I'm gonna say it again in case anybody missed it. Rose cannot be beat. Do you understand? Like, she just can't be. She's impenetrable. There's no weakness. She will prevail no matter what. In any interaction she's participating in, resistance is futile, plebes.
Paul never realized the game Jack was playing back with him, I don't think.
I'm not sure about that, Flo. I think Paul was well aware of it. I think that's one of the reasons why Paul played his hand towards Jack in a certain way. I think Paul was more aware of it than you're giving him credit for.
Okay, I could be wrong.
Spreading the information is the best way to affect change. Education is the first step. It might not be the only thing that is to be done, but it's the first step that at least is taking us in a certain direction, because I feel that the more people that are educated about the truth, the greater the chances are that they will cooperate with each other and come up with new ideas for that specific situation in order to create even more change. And with ignorance, change is totally impossible. So I think that
I love it because Jack gives that boyish. It's the boyish grin. It's.
This is really like watching a sporting event or something. This is the Super Bowl.
Oh my God! This is. Well, I had a whole show planned for today, Flow State. I had a bunch of stuff that I was going to go over, and
Fuck
then
the news. This is the shit.
I had a bunch of stuff that I was going to go over, and then I'm like, I get home and I turn on and I see this. I'm like, okay, like, come on, are you kidding me? In so many ways. I
had the same thought when I saw it. I was like, what the fuck is this thing? And then I scrolled past it because I was about to get in the shower. I was like, it's an hour long and I want to watch the whole hour of it.
Right, that's the thing. This is excruciatingly long, but I mean, so far it's fucking gold. Let's continue.
That even if it was just education that we were working off of and we didn't have any other ideas, it might take a couple of generations to see a change. But already, I think that I'm becoming more and more surprised and impressed with the young people that are growing up with good parents who are educating them. And wow, I have no idea like exactly at what age I would reveal certain information, because my knee-jerk sense is just to be completely honest with my kids about everything. But then I'll hang out with a parent and they'll have like a 3-year-old, and not everyone like totally treats their kids like a baby, even though they're a baby. But I don't know. I just feel like it is true that their brains haven't developed enough that I can't totally talk to them about the Federal Reserve. But we do want to talk to people about the Federal Reserve, Jack. So I want to like do an exercise here. I mean, it's not a big deal. It's just kind of have you pretend that I don't know anything about anything, and that I'm basically just
that's how he talks to people anyways.
All right, so this is what Rose is testing him right now, Flow State. Do you understand? Because Rose likely can't get a grip on Jack quite yet. She's in her evaluation phase of her spider web sort of process. So she's evaluating him. So this is Rose right here testing him. She's laying the gauntlet down and she wants to hear what he says. Based off of his response, she then will proceed accordingly. I see what she's doing here.
Do you want to
go ahead?
Go ahead. No, you go ahead, Harmon.
All right. What happened was she does like 3 role plays, right? Just taking time, and people in the chat saying, Jack's trying to kick her off the panel, but he forgot he's in her channel. That they were saying in the chat. He keeps trying to kick her off the channel, but he forgets. I thought that was funny.
Here's the thing, Harmon. I know what Rose is doing because she did this to me. When Rose first came across me, she invited me onto her show. And then she put me through like a gauntlet, like a series of tests. Right? And it was only until afterwards I realized that she was fucking poking and prodding me and testing me in her little way. It's like she draws you in like the proverbial Black Widow, and then she's basically going to decide what she's going to do with you. Are you just going to be
You were in
fun
the
for
petri
her?
dish. You were in the petri dish, huh?
Oh yeah, dude. She brought me in. She brought her mom on, and then she brought like this other chick on. Then she brought on Dave Weiss. It was this whole fucking thing, man. I know what she's doing to Jack right here, man. And Jack, you're right. He's playing it with the little boy grin. Flow State, they say there's many ways to respond when one is in a situation like we see Jack in right now. There's the fight or flight, the freeze, and the fawn. Right now, Jack will fawn for Rose because if he fights, he'll lose. If he flees, it looks bad, right? So he's going to fawn, and Rose is going to basically entrap him more and more. And the more Jack wiggles through this experience, the tighter the web will grip around him. Plain and simple.
I think that if you apply their personality types to this, Rose has a vulnerability that Jack doesn't, which is her own introverted feelings, technically, but how she feels about herself, whether she feels like a good person, bad person, that sort of guilt thing. Hers is volatile, in a volatile spot. He could, if he throws off enough shots, he could hit a stray one that just lands. Unlike me, for instance, like you can't land one on me because I just don't feel guilt. But yeah, I think that you're right. I think that Rose has the upper hand. But if they mess around long enough, Jack's hard to subdue entirely.
Well, that's Jack's move. Jack's move is the long game. That's Jack's move. It's I'm going to settle in. I'm basically going to curl up in the fetal position, take the shots, but remain. Show up again and again and again. He's persistent. He's dogged. That's the Talcottian move.
Yep.
He's basically like the metaverse's version of Rudy. You remember the movie Rudy?
I never saw it.
Well, he's an underdog. He goes to Notre Dame and he's not supposed to be anything. And then he becomes like a hero because of his persistence. This is Jack. Look how he worked his way into all of our worlds, Flow State. All of our worlds.
He's I know.
People don't realize I met Jack before I met most people. I met Jack before I even met fucking Gorilla Boy, dude. I met Jack
That's what. Yeah, we've talked about this.
Gorilla Boy. I met everybody. So it's like Jack has been here.
Yes.
He's placed himself here and he's just kind of insinuated himself onto all of our lives. Everybody. It's amazing. God, this isn't completely fascinating.
The more time I spend in the metaverse, the more I'm convinced it's just a cluster B disorder playground. We all need to be herded up and put into a cage somewhere and given therapy.
Ignorant normie, maybe even a child who you feel is ready to kind of try to comprehend this information. And so I want you to
hold on, pause. Did she use that analogy on purpose?
Yeah, she's putting him down.
She did.
I know she does it. She does it all through the show.
That was fucking savage.
He called her. He called him a child and a baby.
No, he said, explain it to me, like I'm someone who needs to be, because she basically described herself in the way I've heard Jack describe his son, right? Like he just doesn't understand things. So I think that she just reframed his framing onto herself.
You see, here's the thing. To look to the untrained eye.
Rose? Why isn't Rose up here explaining herself?
Listen to the.
I text her. And she's on the road with Jason right now. She didn't even know you guys were on. So I texted her and said, we're analyzing your stuff. Huh?
Look, here's the thing. To the untrained eye, they would just watch this and be like, oh, it's Rose and Jack having a nice little fucking thing. Now, we up here know exactly what's going on here. This is like a title fight. Rose wants to see what Jack's about. And Jack wants to be about Rose because Jack knows Rose is a mover and a shaker. Jack knows that all Rose has to do is basically snap her fingers and people will jump.
And I mean, I don't know if you already did. You basically pointed out, but this is a very strategic time for Jack to get in touch with somebody who's very well connected.
Correct. Exactly. And don't think Rose is unaware of that. Of course, Rose is aware of this. She is shrewd to the extreme, people. Flow State, these people think I'm joking when I keep talking about Rose and how she's basically the hidden hand behind all of these fucking cluster B people that you see here, dude. You're exactly right. But it's Rose. That's what people don't know.
You told me that, and I just sort of wrote it off the first time I heard it, and then like the next time I saw her, she was in my chat asking for a wrench, and I was like, okay, here you go.
He gave it to her.
Yeah, I did.
Right. Because you don't see her coming. She's unassuming.
No, I saw her coming, but I also like, you know.
Well, you knew she wasn't bad.
I don't get bad impression from her, and I think that I just don't think that she's malicious. I don't know. It doesn't worry me.
No, that's the most trustworthy person I think you can give one.
Oh, she's not malicious, but
she's not malicious. People who establish good networks like this, even if it's for their own gain, which everybody acts out of self-interest all the time, that you have to treat people right to have a good network.
Well, here's my take on Rose is she's not malicious, but God forbid if she ever goes dark. If Rose decides to basically do a heel turn, it's bad for everybody because she could destroy lives at this point. And I'm not joking. Again, I can't emphasize that enough that I'm not joking.
She got some dirt on you, huh?
She's dirt on everybody. Flow State, if you only knew the fucking Jew Mossad-like file that she has on these people. Harmon, if the world only knew, they'd be cowering in their fucking boots. I'm telling you, you think I'm joking. I'm not. This is not hyperbole. This is serious. All right, let's continue.
Oh, I think it's cool.
Don't get stressed out.
Oh, Harmon loves it because Harmon knows. Well, Harmon loves an empowered woman. He likes to see women who kind of are sort of take the reins and kind of come into their own.
Harmon's a sports fan. He likes to sit in the guard tower and watch the inmates fight.
I won't shoot him, that's for sure.
Right.
Oh my God.
Out, just like start from the beginning. It doesn't have to be quick, but in the most simplest terms, what is the human condition that led to this problem? What is the problem? And what are some ways that you can imagine it being solved? You don't have to think of ways to solve it, but your vision for the future. What would the world look like without this problem?
The way he just laughs. He's the way he just laughs because he's like, "Oh, this bitch."
She basically just said check, and he's like, "God damn it!"
He's like, "This bitch can play." I'm just, oh my God, oh my God. Oh, this is too much.
Golly, geez. Beautiful question, Rose. Thank you.
Oh my God. Golly, geez.
I believe what has gotten us to this point. Well, there's many different perspectives.
Why is this so funny to me?
My favorite perspective on the world comes through the eyes of the spiritual, which is all credit goes to God. Right? This is God's story, God's plan. So if I follow that idea through, for me.
So what he does, Flow State, he goes, okay, I need to go to my basics. This is what I do when I'm in a situation that Jack is just in. I go, okay, what's my basic play? Like we just said, like Harmon likes like sports, like in football, Harmon, sometimes you just got to run up the middle, right? You don't know what else to do. You just got to hand it to the running back.
Well, do you know what he's about to say next?
Well, he's going to go to God.
Well, he's setting it up with God. That looked to me like you ever find yourself in a situation you're like, fuck, what can I use as a weapon that's within arm's reach? He just looked around to see what he could grab at.
Well,
maybe he's running up the middle.
All right, let's go. Let's continue.
But God could be this God thing could be a stall, right? He could just be saying God shit to give him time.
Correct. I agree with that.
For me, God reveals the good. So there is good in everything. And so what is the good of the development of our society? And what is the good of the society that we have today? Well, obviously, the advancements from the early 1900s, late 1800s, we've had You know, we went through the industrialization of America and the world. We've established worldwide communication.
She gave them the full screen.
Commerce.
She went full
We've
screen on
created advancements through
She knows
mechanization.
that he's scrambling and stalling, and she put him right on the spot.
She went full screen.
Dude, this is so good.
It's like in the Miss America pageant when you get the one and the one girl gets fucking stumped, and then it's just the worst thing ever, and you could, oh my god.
I'm not sure, like
oh, she's
there's
fucking cruel.
there's
Rose,
a
you're
like a
fucking
50 there's a 50% chance that like everybody watching us right now thinks we've lost our goddamn mind. But I don't know.
Think that they can think. I know these.
I mean, dude, I don't know if it's so obvious to us, but
it's quite obvious because Rose has Jack in her life now. Do you understand? So she has to classify him in a certain way. So she led him into her little lair here, and now she's spinning her fucking web. I know exactly what she's doing because Rose has everybody classified. Just tears. Do you get it? So if you're going to get Rose's attention, she has to know where to put you. And Jack
what's the metric that they're being that they're tiered in?
Well, she has people that she's going to take serious in a certain way, like it, because make no mistake about it, Rose like wants to like save the fucking world and stuff. Like she sees that, like,
does she?
Rose,
I don't know what Rose's ambitions are.
Rose is like a superhero in a way, but it's probably less genuine than one may think. She wants to like be the one to like smugly know that like she affected like change. Like,
That's exactly what Jack wants. That's a cluster B heaven.
Well, here's the thing. There's a difference. Rose could actually do it. So the point is, now she has Jack in her life. So Rose has to evaluate, like, okay, where do I place Jack? What category? So moving forward, I know how to proceed, right? So she had to do this. She had to get him in here, put his feet to the proverbial fire. Jack, you thought that Tony Robbins fucking convention where you had to walk across the hot coals was tough. Rose has you on the hot coals now, Jack. Way worse than that fucking Tony Robbins. Oh my god.
Lindsay says, I think Rose called him Pitt, and then she said,
out.
Then she stabbed him a little and then picked him back up.
Yes, because she has to establish her dominance. That's a part of it. She has to let Jack know where he stands regarding their relationship. It's like Flo said. It's a power dynamic.
I don't think that Jack is used to people playing back with him on this level.
Correct. Exactly. Because with Jack, I'll throw him the flowers and I'll just say, and I'll deal with Jack on a certain level because I like Jack. So I'm not going to press Jack like some people, but Rose is different. Rose is like, okay, if Jack's going to be a part of my fucking orbit, well, I'm going to establish a dominance hierarchy. This is how I'm going to do it. They're going to do it in a subtle way that, again, people with eyes to see, like the three of us, can fucking pick up. The rest of the people will just watch this and say, oh, nice interview, Rose. It was great to see you and Jack.
You guys they're
not initiated. Go ahead.
Oh, no, just people will think that they're just two really sweet people trying to help love the world.
Right. Meanwhile, we're watching two basically diabolical masters go at it, and Rose is handling him like I knew she would.
Did you just call everybody else who can't see it the profane? Is that what I heard you do?
They're the great unwashed masses. They can't all be like us, Flow State. Come on.
Don't prove me right too quickly about my cluster B claims.
My God. Oh, man, I'm losing it with this.
And technology, it's totally transformed our way of living. And in such a rapid development, looking back through history, such a rapid development over a short period of time, in my opinion, it is perfectly designed. It's the expression of selfishness that has created all of the growth. But so it's not an entirely bad thing that has developed. The way it's been developed, though, through the path of selfishness, because, well, speaking as an American here in America,
Hold on, I have a quick
This
question.
nation was
Is that background?
started.
Did she always use that background, or did she choose that background so that she could throw Jack into the angel seat?
No, it's a crow, I believe. I think that's a
Yes,
standard
crow.
background.
Okay, just
But
curious.
good point, though. Who knows? But you see,
I mean,
his
or
dark.
if she sits on panel, who knows? I just noticed the optics.
Right, his dark angel. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit in here and just
go
take.
to 20. Go to 24 and a half minutes.
All right, that's just about where I was about to go. So that's perfect. Thank you, Harmon. I'm glad you're here.
But
as
now
always.
you have to go to 24 minutes or something because he said 24 and a half. You can't do exactly what he told you to.
No, I went back already. So that's good.
As much as they think it's a show. They've been playing a charade and fooling everyone around the world. And I suggest, hey, if we work together, team up a little bit, I bet we could find ways to interrupt these shows. And then we could tell the people on the stage, hey, actors, we know the story. We're going to rewrite the script. You now work for us. The rules actually say, meaning that the people in Congress are subordinate. They are employees.
This is when Jack.
She's going to do a role play in a minute.
Okay, this is when Jack gets that, like, when his eyes are filled with the luster of absolute power. Like right now, Jack should have lightning shooting out of his hands, like the Emperor at the end of the end of Return of the Jedi, where he just starts fucking zapping people. Man, like this is like absolute power. Jack, they say power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That's the look right there.
Yeah, but look at Rose. Rose is just not even listening to him. She's just thinking.
Rose is like, oh, isn't that cute with his little party fingers, little party hands?
Oh my God, this is so funny.
Of the state, and we are in charge of the state. The state is not in charge of us. So how do people help? Any way they want. I believe the solution for the world, it doesn't have to be me, but
see, doesn't have to be me.
When we stop allowing and enabling secrets and lies, we can find ways to understand each other. And actually, when we choose to find ways to understand each other, then we don't have to go around making fun of each other and imagining all sorts of disagreements with each other. And that'll be so nice. Oh, I look forward to that.
I am going to think about all of the people that might listen to your ideas and disagree with you. And if what your vision is in your heart and this is your life crusade, you need to be open to the idea that people are going to disagree with you at first. And I think that the way that you respond to people that disagree with you could be very, very impactful. And a lot of times it has been my positive attitude and welcoming demeanor who is accepting of criticism that has left the door open for relationships to change in the future. So I'll just say that at times I've seen people say legitimately upsetting things to you, Jack, on your channel, things that if they said it to me, I would probably just boot them from the stream and just move on and never think about it again. But it's almost like you're allowing it to happen like in a masochistic way from my.
Wow, flow state. Holy shit. See, she waited 27 minutes. She rope-a-doped him. She let him punch himself out. And then she comes in. And look at his face.
But
oh
look,
God.
hold on.
Write this stuff. You can't write this.
He is a victim as his weapon. That could backfire.
Oh,
Jack and Rose, you both you're two funnel spiders. It's like,
oh my God. His face says it all, man.
Wait till she does the role play.
Oh my God. God.
When his face says too much, I interpret that as he's leaning into it and he's going to weaponize it. If when you push play, he starts looking way too hurt and kind of. If her shot was too effective, I think that he's going to try to pull her momentum forward.
Right, because it's criticism that's going to the heart of his whole thing here. Oh God,
my point of view, and at times,
look at his face.
Is there some place where we can place bets on this shit or something?
I love you, Jack. Jack, you are a fucking national treasure at this point. I don't care if
he's
other people
also a national terror.
Oh my God, it's so endearing in so many fucking fucked up ways. I must be fucked up, Flow State. That like,
I mean,
this is the kind of people that I like, man.
I mean, I'm frustrated with Jack right now, but I really am liking Rose more the more I watch this. So I think that we're we're on YouTube too.
Lindsay says this is the part where Jack turns off.
I don't think he's going to turn off. I think that he's going to but I think he's going to let the his wound linger in the atmosphere for a while before he tries to then leverage it. So I think he is going to be hurt right now from this.
You're right. See, the thing about Rose is she'll just keep going, and then she'll like build him back up again, like somebody else said. Like she'll build him up, because she won't leave him here. But she won't be afraid to go here again. It's her move. It's the way she works on people. I know it. I just know it.
In different weird situations, I can see myself making the same mistake because sometimes I just desperately want to come to a resolution. So I just keep listening to the people say things that I don't agree with because I think maybe I'm going to figure out what the common ground is because I so badly want to be able to let the truth bring me together.
Oh my God, she just nailed it. See, this is how you know Rose has probably been through a lot of bullshit Jewy type therapy in her life.
Yeah, because you don't get this skill set by having a normal childhood.
Because she's right, because she was able to then empathize with him because I know probably what Jack goes through because you want resolution with people sometimes so badly and you feel as though if you can have discourse with them, if you can be rational, that eventually people will turn and they will maybe turn away from their abusive ways, stop attacking. But unfortunately, and as Rose well knows, that's not the case. That's not the world that we live in.
Don't you remember me trying to explain it to you and Mama Cot like a month ago? When you guys were trying to figure out how to I guess.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Right, how basically just some people are intractable in their behavior.
Well, yeah.
There's no amount of kid gloves that are basically going to make them see the light and things like that.
Well, I mean, the approach assumes that the other party has the same interest in the interaction that you do, which is just, it's just false.
Okay, so I look at me, you, and Jack, and I see a spectrum. On one side of the spectrum is you, Flow State, who kind of take that approach where it's like, no, I get it. We're not going to reach resolve. So I may play with you, I may interact with you, but I have no expectation of common ground. Then Jack's on the other side. We'll loop with somebody for over a fucking year. It's the same thing every day, and he'll show up the next day like Charlie Brown thinking Lucy's not going to pull the fucking ball away, and she always does. And then there's me. I kind of feel like I'm in the middle of you two where I go, okay, I'm going to give somebody a lot of rope. I'll let you come. I'll let you go. I'll let you fucking clown on me. I'll let you beat up on me a little bit. But there's a point where I will slam the door on you. And once the door is slammed, it's fucking locked and closed for good. I'm kind of like right in the middle, but I sort of go back and forth, between those two extremes. Because I do feel like Jack is on that extreme where it's like, is it almost like a Messiah complex, Flow State or Harmon, where he just is like, okay, I'm going to come here, expose myself, basically expose my chest, so to metaphorically speaking, to the world, and let a bunch of people just come up and stab me over and over and over again. Are we looking at, like you said, like a vulnerable narcissistic messiah complex here?
It looks to me like I've only known him for like a year and a half or so, right? But he's been consistent the entire time I've known him. So I've got to assume that this is at least a present pattern throughout his life, which is to I lost where I was going to land that.
Well, like basically let people walk on him and then play the victim, the wounded, this,
right?
And to get power from the victim status.
It's like modified Munchausen syndrome.
That's funny.
Lindsay, welcome to Z Show.
When they get sick and
because you're harming yourself in order to advance afterwards. It's like an investment.
No, I get it. I actually know what you're trying to say, man. And I've seen this presentation with people. Let's welcome Lindsay back to Z Show.
And I know that you can't see the logo. We're all right with that, but that is a Flow State shirt.
Yeah, she even cut it. Look, she cut it.
She did cut it.
Yeah, that's awesome, Lindsay.
Yeah,
thank you.
Very awesome. Under boob over Flow State logo is.
Well, I was going to say that. So we're watching Lindsay with a Flow State shirt on and with under boob. So here's the thing, Harmon.
That's what my challenge was. They wanted under boob, so
yeah.
Oh, there we go. Harmon. So now we're realizing about Lindsay. Like Lindsay's not just flashing 15-year-old pictures of her from high school.
Right.
This is fucking modern day Lindsay that we're looking at. Hello, everybody. Come on at you.
What's going on right now? Lindsay's getting on the good part. Right now comes the first role play in about 15 seconds. You're going to love this part.
Oh, my God. We are so deep into this right now. This is ludicrous, but I can't extricate myself from this whole process. I'm totally into whatever we're doing here. Let me ask you, Lindsay.
Lindsay says she disassociates. What are you talking about that, Lindsay?
No, Jack dissociates. And
right.
What he does is as soon as something turns him off, calls him out, or makes him look in any certain way that he doesn't like it, like if he's being told to do something rather than telling somebody else what to do, if she suggests something to him, on his face and in his body language and his presence, he just tunes out. He starts looking away. And the reason why I'm enjoying this is because I think it's the kindest way to stab somebody. It's almost malicious without being so. It's what I call kiss and slap psychology.
No, it is malicious. I think it's gaslighting. It has an element of gaslight with it.
It's kiss and slap. It's basically a fuck you and I accept you and I love you. Which
Listen to the first role play coming up.
Which I would agree, Lindsay. Rose is expertly performing this tactic on him. This is a dominance maneuver because Rose is basically saying, okay, Jack, if we're going to be in each other's lives, I'm going to establish my position over you. And she's doing it in a way that is absolutely masterful.
Yeah, she's telling him, this is what I do. Maybe this is what you can do, including not keeping my haters maliciously on your panel when they're telling me things that would normally make me, you, or anyone extremely sad and feel devalued. And then he immediately looks down like, oh, there's a criticism. I thought this was going to be a fully praised video.
But see, I don't.
He interweaves it.
But I think that Jack's what we're seeing on Jack, he's putting there for us to see as well.
Agreed. Jack is not completely unaware of his presentation. I agree with that, Flow State. I've always thought that about Jack. He more aware.
His presentation.
Yeah, and this is his tactic. It's almost like people adopt the tactic that is most useful based on their skill sets and their attributes, right?
The pity, martyr, victim kind of look. He does that. If you watch him, I watched the video before I came here, and I had a lot to say about it. So I was kind of glad that you put it up there because it's really interesting in many ways.
I think
Go ahead.
I think I've seen both you, Lindsay, and Z get martyred before.
What do you mean get martyred before? You either like I'm using martyr as a noun. You're using it as an adjective.
I was using it as a verb. as a verb.
I'd let Lindsay martyr me any day. Fluff State. Lindsay, you could just
He's
martyr
about
me
to
all you
martyr me
want.
because I made a unspecific accusation.
Lindsay, how's your dating life going with the guy from the gym? What's the update?
This is kind of a distraction, isn't it?
Yes.
Well, it's a
but it's his show. It's his show.
Harmon's
it's a,
like,
it's a
Harmon
worthy
doesn't want to hear about it.
distraction. It's a worthy distraction. Well, Harmon doesn't want to hear about Lindsay and other guys.
I
but
know, that's what I'm saying. You're going to make Harmon jealous, but that might help improve the Riz program that we got to get together.
Go ahead, Lindsay. What's the update? You're not going to tell
as our
us?
friend, I will not name names. Our friend says the ops are high.
Gotcha.
That's not my friend.
Why feed them? And I use
right.
friend, of course, in a loose term.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. Let's go.
But sometimes there are people that aren't open to the truth. So if I can just in the moment try to say like the worst thing I can think of to say to you right now, I want you to
Look
really
at his
listen
body
to it and
language.
pretend that I'm being serious.
He's leaning right into it. This is the sad, dejected child body language.
God.
He's playing it up for mama.
And this is where they said in the chat, he's looking how to kick her out of the panel, but he forgot he's on her show.
And look at Rose's eyes. She's gleeful. She's like, fuck yeah, I can taste the blood.
Like I said, Flow State, she pulled the move where she got up and she let him punch, she let him dance, she let him shuck and jive. And then at the right, perfect fucking moment, she strikes almost effortlessly. This is insane, and it's a masterclass. Oh my God.
And then hold it in and keep thinking about how you want to respond. But then I'm going to give you instructions on how to respond to me and just see how it goes. Does that sound okay with you?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
All right, brace yourself.
Brace yourself. Everybody, I'm encouraging my audience to
I have to make my
to brace
Look at her
themselves.
face. Rose is edging. This is great.
I expected him to say no, but then he says, yeah, let's go. I expected it like, no, that's not okay, because that's what he does to people. So, you see
I don't know that he couldn't find his way out in time.
Oh my God.
That's why he just said, yeah, let's go with it. Instead of
you can't go. You guys know how it is. He's here on the show with her. He has to go. There's nowhere to go. He can't leave and end it. That would be a fucking train wreck.
And if he ever is going to need to play nice with somebody with a lot of connections, it's now.
Yeah. Oh my God. Rose is ruthless in her approach. But here's the thing, panel. She knows Jack needs this, actually. This is actually
I needed this. This is fantastic for me.
Is there such thing as a beautiful snake?
Yes.
Oh,
I think she is one.
Haven't you seen my background I put up with the blue snake? That's cool.
This is crazy.
to make myself ready too, because I don't like being mean. But Jack, I love the government. I love paying taxes. I love the way the police treat the United States citizens. I'm proud to be an American. I don't want anything to change. And I think your ideas are unreasonable, unrealistic, and stupid. Okay. So now, that is very triggering. And normally, people would respond in an aggressive way, try and defend.
If she were at Jack's house trying to pull this,
right?
This is where shit gets violent.
Explain to the other person that they are wrong, right?
Oh my God.
Okay,
Well, she knows that he can't control his response, right? So she's basically, this is like, again, it's like when you bring like little Timmy out behind the woodshed to like whoop his ass or something. She brought Jack out behind the woodshed. That's what she fucking did. This is insane, Rose. Why would you do this? See, this is like Rose wakes up in the morning and decides she's going to do this and then just proceeds with it.
I want to know, and I don't think that I ever will know, but I would like to know how long had she been considering this before she, You know
what she did? She made him feel the things that she felt by being in his room.
Well, here's the thing I know is that Jack's been contacting Rose for because that's what Jack does. He's trying to do his Jack thing. And Rose, unlike most people, like if Jack contacted me, I just probably would ignore it and then just rather talk to Jack here. But I do that with everybody, Jack. So no offense, right? Nobody has my email. I don't talk to Flow State. I don't rap with Harmon before the show and say, Harmon, come on, we're gonna fucking talk about this. It doesn't happen, right? So Rose has to go like this. She goes, okay. She just jumps right in. The same thing with Flow State. She did the same thing with Snafu. See, Snafu's
I didn't know she had anything.
Oh
to do
my
with Snafu.
God, are you kidding me, dude? Snafu's been coming at me for like a year with this thing. And I just been playing the little Snafu thing, just like, okay, yeah, Snafu, whatever. Ha ha, they go along with it and then excusing him. Rose, when she encountered Snafu, called him up on the phone, or at least he called her, and then basically through the course of like 6 hours, dismantled his fucking goofy ass and basically just demolished him. Harmon, Rose wiped.
Does he know that he got demolished though?
Well, he'll never admit it, but yeah.
Right.
What she does is her move is like if you start coming at her in like a weird way, like I'm sure Jack was, like Jack's probably hitting her up in emails incessantly, hitting her up. Rose just goes, okay, head on, fucking like some type of Krav Maga. Like I said, like she's Mossad fucking trained, and she just goes right for the fucking gusto and takes people out, dude.
She is an artist and she enjoys her art, and that's why the fuck she'll spend 6 hours on Snafu.
Correct, exactly. Much like a fucking serial killer who enjoys the process. Like she just goes right into it. This is insane.
What's that? What's that saying about 1,000 tiny cuts or 1,000 tiny stabs?
Death by 1,000 cuts.
Yeah, but she does that instead of one full-out machine gun attack. She does little tiny cuts until the person bleeds out and doesn't realize.
And that's how you know she loves it, because it takes so much longer.
Exactly, man. Oh my God.
And then voila.
Oh, Jack's faces are unbelievable with this. Oh my God. Jack, I hope you watch this, Mr. Jack, you needed this. Rose came along at the right time. You met your match. Everybody thought Paul was your match. No. Like Paul wasn't Rose was the big boss.
I thought I wish she was here. Is she here?
She is. I fully believe that she is watching here, as she should be. Silently watching.
She really didn't know she was on. I texted her just while you guys were talking. She's on
Herman,
the road.
God bless you.
I believe her.
Let's continue.
She's watching now, probably. She's watching now, probably.
Oh man.
The Snafu crew, Flo.
Oh, is the Snafu crew here? I'm on a different tab.
Yeah, you
tell the Snafu crew to suck my dick. The Snafu crew. So now that Snafu is blocked by me, and since Tarek's blocked by me, they sent over. Did you know Truther Cop is part of the Snafu Cruzy?
So what I found out yesterday that
strange
one not only is Truther Cop a part of the Snafu crew, but so is Tarek. Tarek is the newest addition.
Oh, Tarek's been part.
I didn't know that. That's new.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that Truther Cop was. That's what caught me off guard. But the very next day after I blocked Tarek, Truther Cop comes back from his like fucking 4-month hiatus or whatever.
Interesting.
Let's
continue
go
with this.
Still have those goals, right? Because it's important to communicate why we are right and they are wrong, if that is true. But as an exercise right now in interpersonal communication and in the spirit of living without fear,
oh my God,
positivity.
She stole it.
We're watching like a Da Vinci like being.
She stole his slogan and put him in a coaching session, bro.
It's unbelievable. It's like watching a great artist in their preferred milieu at this point. Just effortless. Sorry, Jack. This is a master class right now. Oh my
This
God.
is too dangerous for the general public. We're gonna have to delete this shit after.
Oh my God.
She even slowed down her speech significantly.
Oh,
I
You know,
know.
Oh my God. To pull the live without fear card right at that moment. That's almost like she didn't even need to do that. That was like
That was
the
fuck
finishing.
you. That was teabagging. That was the teabagging after the kill.
Right. Like you said, she enjoys it too much. Like that's spiking the ball in somebody's face after you just scored the winning touchdown. It's unbelievable.
I'm
Sadism is
going
fun
to
for all of
teach
us.
you the feeling statement right now. And even though it's going to seem really formulaic and insincere, it's just an exercise, okay? And I actually do use this formula in my communication when I'm in a tough situation, and it helps me and my
Watch him
particular
turn off
style of thinking
right
and
here.
communicating, okay? So I'm going to give you an
Jack, your face, his poor oh my God. I did not know this was going to get like this. I just was like, I had a hunch, like I need to review this. I had a hunch, and I didn't know it was going to go here.
I couldn't have imagined it would be this
is
good.
Flow State. I
Watch his
can't even
body
believe
and
this
his
is
face.
happening right now. This is insane. This is crazy.
This is where he's being told what to do in a
This is
subtle
how
way.
I would respond
He
to
hates it.
me if I were you, and I'm going to use the formula, okay? And I'm going to pretend that someone said, your ideas are totally stupid and you don't deserve to participate in our club. I don't know. I just thought of that randomly. Okay. So I'm going to say, I feel sad. I feel sad when you tell me that I'm not invited to the party. I feel this way because I think I'm a great person and that I'm really fun to be around. And I would bring some kind
Flow State, she's playing on all his childhood insecurities.
And on his present situation.
Yeah, she's going right to his vulnerable trauma as a childhood, as a child.
But you
And
just missed the cutest comment she
Oh,
made by
my-
skipping over it.
Which cute comment?
The nachos. She said, I think I would have a lot to add, and I would bring the most delicious nacho cheese dip or something like that.
Yeah.
to the party. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, you skipped over it.
I did. I didn't think I skipped anything.
I didn't either.
I didn't skip anything. I'm
Well,
gonna
I think
talk
you were
over it.
talking when she was talking. Yeah, when you talked.
Yeah.
So but my point is like, see, Jack wasn't ready for this, but again, he needed this. He needed this wound to be exposed. All right, he needed it because it was unhealed, Mr. Talcott. You had a scab over a festering, unhealed wound. Now, Rose ripped off that scab, and she's now debriding that wound. This is what was needed in so many ways. This is mutually beneficial.
We don't know if she's fixing it or if she's just hurting him.
Well, that's
too
the
early
thing
to
because
say.
well, it's not. She's not going to fix it. But the thing is, the only way to attempt it is to put him through this crucible. This is an alchemical trial by fire.
I don't know
he's
that
either going to survive or he's either going to come through changed and transmuted in many ways.
I'm gonna deny Rose any virtue out of this, or Jack any. I think this is just competition. I could be wrong, but normally sadists aren't also altruists.
All right, let's continue.
some kind of really yummy nacho cheese dip to the party and have and add it to the club. And my hope for myself is that I can just move on and accept that you don't vibe with me right now. And my hope for you is that you will one day realize that I do have something to offer. And something like that, Jack.
Oh my god!
State
Oh my
your
god!
feeling, okay? And
Can you back it up
I
like 5
got
seconds?
to
I want to see what his
the root
face
of
just
it.
did again.
You know, there might be a lot of ancillary feelings. You state your feeling, okay? And so I just got down to the root of it, even though there might be a lot of ancillary feelings. I just went down to the root of it, that the whole situation just makes me feel sad because it's a shame. You know what I mean? Because I like people to come together. And ultimately, whoever told that to me, I wanted them to invite me to the party, you know? So I was sad. And you just leave it at that. It's like a one-word thing. And you say it because you want them to know that that's how you feel. Okay. So I'm sad. And then you give a factual situation. So I say, I feel sad when. So after the word when, we say a situation that is actually
So apparently, guys, she tops this off by bringing in an actual life coach.
Shut the fuck
Don't
up.
ruin
Flow
it.
State.
Whoa, I can't even-
Apparently, dude, apparently.
Oh my God.
So apparently she just brings them through. It's like a tenderizer.
Can she just do this? Can she just do this to people? Can we get rid of all of our shows and all we do is help support Rose and her career doing this to people?
Her the life coach comes on at 35.
She fucking brings in a life coach. Like, that's like like just when you thought it couldn't go any more fucking she brings in a life coach that she had waiting in the background the whole time. It's
I'm
insane.
so impressed.
This is insane. She brings in a life coach
At 35-minute mark.
But here's the thing, everybody. The life coach shows that this was completely volitional and planned and premeditated on Rose's part. Like, the fact that the life coach comes in, it's unbelievable. As I said, everybody.
This
You're
is like
watching,
intervention
you're
or
watching a
something.
master.
That's what the
It's
chat
crazy.
said. Well, the fact
Okay.
said this is an intervention.
Oh my God.
You spoiled it.
No, because I had to tell
had-
Flow State that to prep him for what the fuck comes next, because
I appreciate it. I don't know that I could handle that, taking out all that much. Katie, are you
Right.
You want to come watch this? This shit's wild.
That's what you said in prison.
This is crazy.
I don't even care that you made that joke at me.
Something that happened was proven in reality. So they told me I couldn't come to the party or be in the club. Okay. And then I move on to, I feel sad when this happens because I think, and this is your opportunity to just kind of get your thoughts out about why, like, your take on it. This is just your opinion now. It could be subjective. And then you say your hope for yourself and your hope for others. So are you able to, and you don't have to respond right away. It's okay if you sit for a second and think and feel. But if I told you that
He's dissociated
I didn't
right
like
now.
your ideas,
No, he's
or
not.
that I didn't
He's-
want
he's-
to change, I didn't want the world
He's
to change,
protesting.
Well,
how would you
watch.
respond to
It
that
happens
in a
next.
feeling statement without
I mean,
getting angry?
okay.
Now, you could feel angry, but your style of communication isn't going to sound or be angry, because we're just talking about communicating with words.
She's like, get mad about it, bro.
He looks out the window.
Oh my! Oh!
Look at her little smug face.
God, you look at his face and look at. My God, this might be the most fucked up but hilarious thing I've ever
This
seen
is
in my
the
entire life.
Best YouTube content ever. Rose just won. You just won the internet, Rose. It's not even done yet. You haven't even brought in the life coach yet, and you won the internet.
Would you be
my
shocked
God.
if she came up here right now and said, "This was all good intentions. I meant nothing bad."
I don't even know at this point. She could basically do anything. I'd be like, yeah, I totally believe that you set a whole trap, and my whole life has been you have led me to this one point where.
Oh my God, this is insane.
Rewind it a
He
little
is
bit.
completely checked out. It's
I
like,
don't agree with that.
oh,
Though. I
fuck.
think that he's protesting by playing on obvious visual social cues. It's just she's not going to have it. She's going to. He has to be explicit with her if she wants, or if he wants to get
Right. So you're saying like a lesser mind, like somebody who's not as adept in her arts.
the profane. The profane. We can call them
someone more profane, more unwashed would basically succumb to his vulnerable presentation, his vulnerable facial expressions and body language, whereas Rose is unflappable and intractable.
Lindsay wanted you
Correct.
to rewind it just a little bit and start it again.
Oh my God.
Harmon's trying to watch the game, and we're over here cheering too loud.
No, I love you guys. You guys know him, which makes it tonight. I know Rose, but I don't know Jack. I love it. I'm loving your analogies.
Oh,
They're awesome.
God. This is
All right.
insane.
That scowl is bae.
Oh,
What do you
my
want to
God.
rewind to, Lindsay?
I
Respond to that
go ahead.
in
Go
a
ahead.
feeling statement without getting angry. Now you could feel angry, but your style of communication isn't going to sound or be angry because we're just talking
I
about.
bet you I watched this a
communicating
second time
with-
tonight too.
I get what you're saying. The feeling response, though,
Look at her
I
eyes.
have
Oh,
maybe I've attempted it poorly.
oh.
I've attempted many different methods of communicating
Look at her
in
smile.
the past.
Oh, I know.
And I know for a fact when I've expressed my feelings, I've been blamed and judged. So
Victim caught.
here, where you're at, Rose, I'm at a point.
Jack, at this point in the thing, this is when you just submit. This is when you admit defeat, and then you basically just go along with it, dude. You're resisting,
Just
and
roll
it's
over on your back, put your little
No.
antenna up and your little bug legs up because you're done.
It's right. Look, once you get caught in that web, the more you struggle, the more entangled you become. This is what I said to you, Harmon, in the beginning. Harmon, do you understand what I mean now? When she weaves the spider web and then she lures you into it and then you become trapped.
I mean,
And
let's give her
it's
credit.
crazy.
She really just lets you trap yourself in your web.
That's the move. Well, here's the thing.
Until you springs on the light
When
bill.
a spider spins a web, flow state, the web just stays there. It's you have to then basically entrap yourself. This is what she does. Go ahead, Harmon.
No, I'm just saying what Lindsay said. Wait till she brings on the life coach.
All right, let's keep going. Oh, my
Point,
God.
really? My skin's pretty tough. I've been growing.
Look at Rose's face.
Been growing through the attacks and the doubts and disbelief. Lots of people want to bring me their doubts and their disbelief and their contempt, but I trust that what I'm saying is true. That the truth is the way to freedom, and people. Here's where I'm at. Many of the common people have the same idea that you were presenting. They believe that they know best. They believe in the government. They believe in their political process. I don't want to talk to them. They can't change the system if they believe in the system. So I really don't want to talk to the people.
All right, so he did his classic Jack shuck and jive, right? He did you put the hands over the head, move, squirm, dodge, hoping that will convince Rose to stop with her onslaught, and we know that's not going to happen. This is just a classic fawn response that Jack.
But the very first thing he did was he did a long, the silent pause. Silences are uncomfortable, and people will compulsively talk to fill them in, right? That was his first move. And then he just dropped that play. Clearly Rose is not going to go for that. Something that basic.
Right. Because she silently just let him do that, play that out patiently. And then he returned to form. Okay, we're a few moments away from the life coach.
Unless they have a way to change. I don't think I'm answering your question, Rose, and I'm sorry.
That's okay, Jack. We're just talking right now. This isn't like a job interview, but we want to maybe eventually we'll pretend like it is because we're just practicing communicating our ideas in a way that's going to resonate with people so that they want to hear more. And help us reach the goals that we're describing. Because ultimately, if you're not getting the progress that you want, then just little adaptations need to be made. And you never need to be so hard on yourself that you're going to fix the situation immediately. You're basically just testing out different things to see what works. Oh my gosh, Jack,
That was
this
the
is so
kiss.
exciting.
Here
Okay.
comes the
We have
slap.
25 minutes to spare.
God.
I just put you through that stupid feeling statement exercise, and I feel totally retarded. Like I'm totally unprofessional. I have no idea what I'm doing and just flying by the
Oh
seat
my
of my
God, she's
pants.
setting
But
him
I
up.
have a friend who's arrived.
She's building him up. She's gonna slam him down again harder.
Look at Jack's face. His face. Jack. Oh my God, his face this whole time. The face is like, unbelievable.
But look, she's giving him relief. She's gonna pretend to let him up, and then she's gonna fucking dunk him down again. He thinks he's free.
Oh,
She's
He's
waterboarding.
like, yes, that was stupid.
She's-
You're right.
You see kiss slap like now, finally?
Huh?
She's like, Jack, I accept you. You know, it's okay. You know, I'm just spouting psychobabble out of my mouth. And then the next thing is going to be a slam. So that's why I say kiss slap, kiss slap.
Oh my God, she's doing good.
Holy
And if she plays it out longer, she's gonna get him to agree that that this would be good with a professional though, or something, right?
Mhm.
She's gonna get him to commit to it before he knows that this is happening.
I think Flo just had a sargasm.
I had several.
Wow, this is insane.
Arrived who's totally a professional. She actually lives off of helping people to realize their goals and their vision and their passions and how to like turn it into a successful business. How freaking cool is that?
Everything that Jack wants and has not achieved. Rose, you are fucking ruthless in your approach. Oh,
And this, I
my
think,
God.
is what I have a passion for. And Rose has like, this is fucking great.
Rose, all the sociopaths love you, girl.
You're up here too.
Oh my God, this is insane.
Beth, welcome to the show. Did I do a good job of explaining what you do?
Yeah, pretty good. That's one aspect of it. Thank you so much for having me, Rose.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for coming. You're saving my ass when I'm just like totally trying to help Jack. Like I told you before sending you to the link, that basically Jack is a person who is so passionate and is dedicating his life to trying to change the world in such huge, big,
I can't believe then she comes with this move. After all that we just witnessed, she fucking came with the
I
Mike
did too.
Tyson. This is insane. Oh my God.
Now I think Jack is really kind of dissociating. Like,
oops, I fucked up. Hold on.
That's okay. I need to let some of this wear
my
off.
ass when I'm just like totally trying to help Jack. Like I told you before sending you to the link, that basically Jack is a person who is so passionate and is dedicating his life to trying to change the world in such huge, big, unimaginable ways that he very eloquently said today that when one person says it, it sounds crazy. But we both know if he had 330,000 people behind him agreeing with him, it wouldn't sound so crazy.
Oh my God, his face. Jack, your face. Flosty, at this point, has he derailed? Because I can't imagine these facial expressions are voluntary at this point.
Okay, I think that he's derailed at this point. Like, to think that you know, in his mind, he could still get control back from one person, but now I think he knows that he's fucked. Here's another thing that just occurred to me. This could be a multi-trap. I feel like Rose caught me in her trap with this too.
Right. Hold on. Let me drop Rose's channel. I was trying to do it before.
I'm already subscribed to it. Oh, but yeah, go ahead.
The channel's at the group is out. I was like, I was gonna do it before, but I just was like too wrapped up in this whole fucking craziness. Man, this is nuts. Let me let this play out. Oh my God.
So crazy. So Jack, now that Beth is here and she really doesn't know anything about your message. Could you kind of like practice giving her an elevator pitch of sorts and then tell her one way that people can help you right now, even if it sounds like crazy and like unlikely? Just be honest with her.
The elevator pitch. It depends on the perspective. I'm not sure what you want me to present. Who I am a man.
Oh man, no, this is where he can't hide his emotions at this point.
No.
He can't, like, what she did was she went right for his vulnerable spots, and she penetrated and hit him in a way where he's now having emotional flashbacks. He's emotionally triggered. Rose fucking went deep, and he's completely destroyed right now. And it's fucking hard to watch a little bit, but Flow State and I have known Jack long enough where this is him at his probably most dejected. Go ahead, somebody else.
You got over 107 viewers now live. That's pretty good for this.
Oh yeah, that is good. Shout out, hit the like. See, this is great shit.
Oh, well, here's the problem, Harmon. I'll come on here and talk about, like, you know, the lies and deception of history, science, and religion. I'll come on here, Harmon. I'll prep like this whole, like, I had a whole show today prepped, Harmon. I had stuff where I was, well, here's the thing. I had stuff prepped where I was going to talk about like refraction and like fallen angels. But yet I played this thing with Rose and Jack, and that's when, you know, I get my biggest audience. It's insane because this is compelling, Harmon. We're watching Rose pull this thing on Jack. Many of us are invested in the Jack story. And I think Flow State sees what I'm seeing is that Rose just did something with Jack that everybody else, hundreds, if not thousands of people at this point, have tried to basically pull this maneuver on Jack. Rose is the first person to actually accomplish it. Much like the proverbial sword being pulled from the stone, Rose is like the chosen King Arthur. The only one able to perform it was Rose.
You're fawning too hard. I don't disagree with you. It's just a little much. But let me fawn on a different angle. Let me point out something, too, though, about this paradigm. Jack is fucking stuck, but only because he's deceptive. If he was just straightforward, the minute that he stopped playing games with people, this would be over for him.
Well, you just got to the heart of it, and I think that's the point that Rose is trying to prove, and in essence, to bring Jack. See, where you and I disagree with the most, Flow State, is Rose's intentions with the endeavor. Now, I see her intentions as multi-pronged because I think everything Rose does is multi-pronged. I think when she does something, she maximizes her efforts in such a way to make the greatest impact. You see this more as a power play on Rose's part. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I mean, no, I think you're right. I think you're right in what you're saying, but I've as it's gone on, I think I've changed. My position is shifting a bit towards yours.
The guy in the chat, the freak, says this is more than just Rose blowing him down. This is Jesus Christ separating Jack from himself and a real test of the heart. If you know,
he wanted a miracle, he got one.
Yeah, this is nuts. Let's keep going.
Man who believes in I'm a man of deep faith, very spiritual. I have studied and I understand many different fundamentals for transformational coaching. My vision for the world. I got into life coaching because I have a heart of an activist, and the goal I'm trying to achieve is a way to, well, end wars.
I can feel his deflation. His deflated energy is palpable at this point, everybody.
It is.
That makes sense. The solution, the very simple solution I see is no more secrets, no more lies. And that starts with no more excuses, no more blame. When we eliminate excuses and blame, there go the secrets and the lies. That's what I'm at, if that makes sense.
Very nice. Sounds like really amazing work. And so where are you getting stuck?
I found this goal and this passion back in 2018. And for whatever reason, I guess my fault, I'm still completely alone, it feels. So there's been an interesting progression in my path, my adventure.
Here's the thing. He is completely alone. And that's the thing about Jack that is probably the toughest to witness is watching him and his forlorn nature and his emotional expression of his isolation and his lack of human connection. Go ahead.
I think he uses it as bait, though. I think that's how he dangles it out there as bait. So in a way, I don't know. I feel like he just threw out the bait, though. That's because that's how he gets help. And obviously, I mean, no, I have not observed him do anything for himself ever. I have observed a lot of people attempt to help him, though. So,
all right, let's continue.
I feel like I'm spinning my wheels, just screaming into the walls, because one man singing this alone sounds like a fool, and I'm still trying to find the first person to say, "Hey, Jack, well, Rose, today maybe," you know.
She's like, "Fuck yeah, baby."
Yeah, so, one of the things that I help people do in addition to building a business is, first of all, to see, what is their purpose? Why are they here? And a big component of sacred purpose, as I think you're already painfully aware, is not just who you are and what you do, it's who you do it for, right? That hero's journey, that it's got to go the full distance, not just solving your own problems and dealing with your own life, but cracking that code. Who are your people that are literally waiting for what you have? And then it becomes a
Jack, no offense, but this lady that Rose just pulled out of the fucking woodworks has everything that Jack wants. And Jack knows it. Jack is like, oh, this lady does my thing, but like fucking better. And it fucking destroys him. Much love, Jack, but I know you see this, and it's probably part of his frustration because this lady has the rap down. And Jack, see, Jack is close. Jack has many of the pieces, but for whatever reason, Jack has some fatal limitation that prevents him from achieving whatever this lady has. That's my take on his current moment right here.
I think that he prioritizes the local, the one connection, right? Like he wants people to contact him in private and leverage that individual interactions. I think that the other woman is operating on a public scale, and Jack's trying to get people into private. That's just my theory. And Rose is just happy.
Having such clarity inside yourself and getting out with that message so that it beacons to the right people. So you're nodding your head.
Yeah. I agree 1,000%.
Right.
And when I first, early in my journey of development, one of my early coaches, she pointed out to me that feeling, that calling I felt within me to invest and to move forward with that. That was the call of the people waiting for me, the call of the people waiting for me to grow and to be there for them. I'm searching. I have been searching for my tribe, my community. The way my growth happened was through transformation. My life transformed, and I was...
Flusted, I worry about Jack sometimes. And I know you don't worry about people, so it's probably not a problem for you. But I'm like worried that like one day he could just do something like really dumb.
Yeah,
I'll leave it there, but I think about that sometimes. Go ahead.
I understand that concern. I get it.
Yeah.
The other concern though is he could, I mean, it's not like he's harmless.
Well, I think his biggest harm is potentially to himself, man. That's my issue that's why I get concerned about him. So I actually had a thought the other day, man. about Jack. It just randomly popped into my head. I said, it was just a like Snow says, me too, Z. It just popped into my head randomly. Like I said, oh shit, fuck. Anyway, I'll fucking leave it there. I like Rachel says, I love spiritual hippie dream catcher hippie bullshit. Oh my God, let's continue. God.
Was no longer part of a community or a family or anything. Still trying to find that. And I love what you're saying. It's getting the people.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's almost always that period of being in the desert.
Oh my God. I got to wrap it, guys. I can't. It's a flow state. I'm going to wrap it, dude. My heart's now breaking for fucking Jack. This is the difference.
No, stop it. You take five and get your little emotions together. Me and Harmon will hold it down and chop it up with the crowd.
All right. I'm going to put it to the crowd. Okay. I'm going to put, I'll crowd, put a 1 in the chat. If you want this to keep playing, put a 2. If the heart's breaking too bad. And we're going to just cut Jack a break. A 1 if you want to keep going, 2 to cut Jack a break. Please vote now. Be expedient.
Do 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 do.
1.
My heart's just breaking, dude. My heart is breaking for Jack.
All right, well, take a look. Don't let your heart break for Jack. Something needs to change for Jack, right? Even Jack agrees about that. So, and change never comes out of comfort.
10 ones and 1 2.
And instead of focusing on Jack, maybe focus on Rose and how much joy she's getting, or on my face, how much I love this. We could think about maybe what we're going to do about how powerful Rose is and how we need to. That's just a danger to all of us.
Everybody's getting 1s. Everybody's telling me to keep going. Only Sean Alke said 2.
And you got 110 now, so some people are still picking it up.
Some people are saying he did this to himself. I mean, I'm going to put this on the record.
You are soft-hearted.
I'm heartbroken for Jack right now. I am completely resonating with it's completely. I'm feeling Jack's emotions. I'm too invested. Okay, I'm going to continue. Continue.
Do you need to take a break to cool off?
I am. I'm going to let this play. Feel free to jump in. I need to do some breathing exercises and grounding exercises. I am totally feeling this is fucking crazy because it's not just about this moment. What Rose did was she took Jack and in her way, she literally went to the core of Jack's trauma. And now we're watching him express a lifetime of regret, disappointment, and dare I say failure. This is crazy.
You're extrapolating a whole lot of backstory from what we've witnessed. We don't know that. It is possible, but
from your both analogies, I like Flo. Flo saying, I think he's playing the sympathy card. He's trying to don't pick on me anymore. I'm the victim.
It's probably some of both. It's probably both, right? He probably does feel like shit, but he leans into that because it's what works for him.
Right, the crowd spoke. Everybody wants me to continue. It was almost unanimous, except for Sean Alke, who was the only dissenter. Even the people who were feeling like me, it's like when you're watching, I don't know, a zebra get its ass eaten out by a group of hyenas.
Like Snafu Snap?
It's insane.
It's worse than it's like when Yeller dies and you keep watching it to the end.
No, because... No, it's not.
Right, exactly. All right, let's continue. Oh my God, this is crazy.
It's like a cleansing. It's like, the fever that burns the demons out of you or some shit.
Oh, Flow State, you are enjoying this. You are enjoying this a little too much, Flow State. Oh, what does it say about you, good sir? Oh my God. Okay.
Hey, don't reflect on me. You started this.
Oh my God, this is fucking.
You're the gateway to Rose. You're the one who brought this super predator into our midst.
Rose is a fucking sadist to the highest degree. Oh,
but hold on.
God.
She might not be, because she really has all the moral ground. She's only trapping him in his own lies. That's it. The minute he stops bullshitting people, the paradigm stops.
Well, Again, the behind the scene on this is Jack started kind of like, doing his Jack things towards Rose. And this was Rose's response. It's unbelievable. And I know she did this on purpose because I watched her do it. She did it to me. I watched Rose flush me out in a similar fashion. I saw how she handled snafu.
How did she flush you out?
She did the same thing. She brought me on a show just like this and put me through the fucking ringer. It was the same thing, dude. I watched how she plays Tommy.
Close one challenge. I can see that he wants a challenge now.
Turn my camera back off.
Listen, the thing that people don't understand is all these insane personalities, whether it's Paul, Z, Jack, Illumitami, Snafu, etc., Rose has shown the way she handles these things. She's like Teflon in many ways, and she's tougher than every single person I just mentioned, and by orders of magnitude. I've been saying this. My longtime listeners have been hearing me say this about Rose for 6 months now. And now they're seeing the evidence displayed in front of everybody. Let's continue.
Desert where you know your people that you've been with really aren't your people anymore. And then there's what can be a big void as you put yourself out there. And so then what have you already done to try to find your people?
And also, Beth, can I just add, I'm going to let you answer that question. What have you done to find your people? But also, Beth, after he answers that, I need you to say what you would do if when you reached out, the wrong people were coming around. Like, what do? You get a new YouTube channel, change your identity, block people? Like, what do you do when you're not reaching the right people? But go ahead, Jack, say what you've already done, and then, or go ahead, Beth. Sorry.
It's actually the perfect question, Rose. If you don't mind, Jack, I'll just jump in with that. Okay. So when the wrong people are coming around you, it's a sign of maybe not coming out of the gate as authentically as you could, because
wow,
is totally polarizing.
Wow,
it will either draw
Point to Beth
deeply into you, or they'll say, "No, that's not my beautiful anything."
This is fucking amazing.
And so it kind of takes care of itself.
My God, I can't
have the
believe we're
luxury
watching
of
this.
Having 99% or higher of the right people around me, because I'm not saying you're not bold, but yes, authenticity, Sarah, it's the key. So that, again, that polarization, it makes them decide. You don't have to decide. The decision comes from within you to be courageous enough to show really who you are.
She's right.
Now,
she's right.
Wow.
He has no boundaries. Okay, so here's the thing. He has no, let's say, compatriots and no adversaries. He's just like a mishmash of boundaryless interactions. And this is why he has, Jack, this is why you have nobody in your corner. This lady just nailed it, and Rose set you up for it. This is insane. Go ahead, panel, your thoughts.
I just have more questions. I hope that Rose, I'm sure that Rose is watching this. Rose, I hope that you come up at some point tonight to answer the questions. I have lots of them. Actually, you probably won't even answer most of them, because most of them are like, all right, pop the hood on this whole setup here.
Oh, this is insane. She's not going to give you the real deal. Again,
I know she's not. That's why I backed off it.
She works in the shadows like her people.
That some people are totally not going to like that.
Hold on. This is not a her people thing. This is a Rose skill. I've had lots of Jewish friends. Nobody has I've never seen anybody just like execute this shit.
Well, this is Mossad like. This is deep counter ops.
Not all Jewish people in Mossad.
Completely Rose seems to be.
Yeah, she does.
This is insane, man.
All of the inner experiences around that can be all the programs saying, I don't have love and approval. I'm not going to survive this. I'm not in
Now
control
he's
here.
probably really dissociating.
Maybe I'm not good enough, or I can't win.
Woo.
I just saw Sarah's next comment, be vulnerable. And I'll just follow that up with be vulnerable strategically. Not just to come out and say like, oh, I feel broken right now, or I feel lost right now, or I don't have my people right now, but to share the stories of transformation that you've been through that point to the kind of transformation that you can help other people
my
with
God.
now. But I would always give the advice for where you're stuck, and that's not to, make you feel like anything for right now and right here. But the things that you haven't overcome yet, I personally don't go public with those. The reason being that people come out of the woodwork to try to fix you, to try to tell you what your problem is, to, throw all kinds of what could possibly be solutions, but really.
Jack, she knows this from experience.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So I share a lot about my story, where I've come from, trials and tribulations I've been through. But the one I'm working on today that I haven't resolved yet, I'm not going to share that until I've got to the other side. Only with, really trusted confidants, my own coach, best friends that you can trust. So, yeah.
What you're saying, I've learned painful mistakes. You're absolutely right. I've shared, I thought my openness, my authenticity might actually earn me some credit, earn me some favor and trust, but it's backfired. Just what you said. I get a bunch of clowns up telling me how to improve myself, how to change myself, and they don't know what's going on. There was something else you said, though. I'm sorry.
It's about boundaries, Jack. Boundaries.
No worries.
What? Okay, so here's the thing.
While you think about that, Jack, just feel free to jump in and interrupt me at any time.
This goes back where Flow State, you nailed it about the vulnerable narcissism. It's the revert. It's basically to say, I have no boundaries. I'm the ultimate empath. It's just narcissism of a different flavor. It's the other side of the narcissistic coin, so to speak. Go ahead. Any thoughts?
No, I mean, that's exactly what it is.
I'm so boundaryless. I'm going to hang myself up on the cross and watch you basically flog me to the point where it becomes like where I am right now with them, where I'm like, it's like Harmon said, it's like watching old Yeller get taken out behind the barn and dispensed with. It's fucking brutal.
I've said before, like, I don't know, probably nobody hears her, but like, there's no type of person concerns me more than meeting somebody who is a victim, because those people are always looking for abusers, whether it's conscious or subconscious. I don't remember.
I like that. I don't care. I like that. You said they're looking to be the victim. Yeah. Okay.
Because I mean, yeah, we're all old enough to if it wasn't us, it was a friend that we know. Somebody fell for a chick who was they met, she was in a bad situation, blah, blah, blah. She needed help. And then 6 months later, guess who she needs help from again? She's in the same paradigm. She just found a new guy to blame.
And you were comforting money helping her that last time. You can do it again.
If you remember, but we only have a couple minutes left because Jack has a stream at 5 p.m. Central, our time, at 6 p.m. Eastern, and he has to prepare for that. But
I'm gonna have to have a cry in the shower.
I would love it if you told Jack a little bit about your spiritual awakening and your experience almost dying, and how changing your mind, how that transpired. And also I wanted to know if you kind of had a certain direction where you thought you were living your life the right way, and if after you had that experience you completely changed your outlook.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
If you want to skip past her
in
story,
1999 I was diagnosed with
99
stage 4
and
lymphoma,
survived it.
and had been, as Rose
4 minutes.
was just talking about, completely out of alignment with my true self, my true interests. I was doing both. Actually, I was trying to lead a double life. In that moment, when I decided, even after a second diagnosis and then them telling me I wasn't going to live through it, and you and God. Yeah. And today I have the most fulfilling life I could even possibly have ever imagined. Every single thing that I do feels like it has purpose. Doesn't mean there isn't some wavering in that it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. The more work I have done on myself,
So this is the complete juxtaposition here, because my impression is this woman probably has a very vibrant personal life.
What do you mean? What does that
Here's
mean?
my point. She probably has people that she cares for, people that care for her. She probably has a support system. What I'm saying is she's the complete opposite of Jack.
And they're both supposed to be life coaches.
Right. And this is what's killing Jack, is because it's what I said at the beginning. This lady has what Jack aspires toward, but for whatever reason, Jack has a fatal flaw. I don't know what it is. I mean, I think I do know what it is with Jack, but I'm not inclined to completely go there at this point because my heart is fucking breaking for him. But my point is this, I will say this, is this lady has the support system, the social system. She is probably successful in her life coaching. And this is just basically highlighting those insufficiencies that Jack currently has. Now, it doesn't mean that Jack can't get there. And I think Rose maybe is using this to make a point, is that for Jack to achieve his goals, there's going to have to be some type of transformation. Jack's going to have to give at some point. Jack has thus far been intractable and unwavering in his approach and his mindset. For Jack to achieve his goals, he's going to have to break. He's going to have to change and transmute in some way.
The issue with, I mean, the thing about narcissism is that if you already know everything, you can't learn anything. It literally stops development, any sort of growth in its path.
Right.
And I'm not saying that as a dig at Jack. Like, that just really is the case and the problem it makes.
So what do you guys now think about her title of her video, Rose 777 and Jack Talcott?
She's gloating. I think she's taking a victory lap.
Right, a covert operation. It's what they do, Harmon. They have to tell you in plain sight what they're going to do as they do it. This is what they do.
Right? They have to tell you. Don't
they
say
have
we didn't
to tell you.
Okay,
it's like, okay, Jack, you saw the title and you stepped in anyway.
Can we just call? I mean, it might also just be some simple duper's delight.
Let's continue.
The more work I have to do on myself, it doesn't end. We're in a folding and unfolding universe. I'm just picking up that phrase from Matt Presti, who I interviewed recently. And one of the traps is what I call ascension, or what people know as ascension. That you keep rising and rising and rising and getting more energy and being more healed and getting more accomplishments and all of that kind of thing. But in and of itself, it doesn't lead you where you need to be at all. Because the higher you rise, as above, so below.
I love his face.
The more depths.
She busted out. She said adepts, and so she's a Hermetic person too. So this lady's obviously studying the high level knowledge, and of course Rose would know her because Rose has an arsenal. Harmon, Rose has an arsenal of people like this, like in her fucking phone right now. She has a fucking army of these types of ladies that she could just pull up. This wasn't like random. God, Jack, your face just gives it away so much. He wants to resist. Flo said he wants to be right.
Yeah.
As opposed, he wants to be right. It's like
that's always been the thing. That's always been the only priority Jack has. If you really talk to him and listen to him, he wants to prove he was right to his old bosses. He wants to prove it to his ex-wife, to his son. He's stuck on vengeance and being right.
Of the dark energy that gets exposed. So that can be used to your advantage, but if you don't know that, then You just go more and more into denial of the low energy. And so the potential for me
He's okay,
is all
Z.
of those spirals and scales that exist in nature, outside and inside. They are a map, so we can find ourselves precisely in that moment of our time for the purpose of getting off the map and going from a frequency or a vibration, high or low, to actual freedom that is no frequency and no vibration. So that's kind of in a nutshell.
That's beautiful, Beth. I love
That's
your story
beautiful,
so much,
Rose.
and everything you're saying makes so much sense. And I feel like you were really speaking Jack's language when you were talking about working together, human to human, without relying on these evil, these evil government systems. But Beth, do you ever think that there's an appropriate time to use the legal system, like to file a lawsuit?
Oh yeah, absolutely. When things get beyond being able to handle them, that's why, I ended up working with doctors, all kinds of natural doctors, but I ended up going for the chemotherapy, even though it nearly killed me. But I was in that place. I was hanging in that balance. So I needed the court of medicine at that time. And so, yes, there are times, and if you've been attacked and injured, it still is kind of crazy decision. I'm not sure I would take the public legal path, because I'm a kind of cut bait and move forward person. I did actually have a major thing I could have sued somebody over just before the pandemic hit, and I decided, what, my creative life is way more important to me than justice in this case. So it was just a block, delete, and I moved on and did my own thing. That's just me. But yeah, there are times, and sometimes you get pulled into that system and you can't avoid it. So yes, absolutely support people 100%.
Right, because people are crazy and they do harm, and there needs
When's
to
the
be
last
some
time
kind
Jack
of
said something?
recourse in a way. Of course, I always dream of a world where people come to the spiritual awakening and there are more people who are good with good intentions, who don't harm, than bad. But it also seems like this existence has hardship and suffering and disagreements for a reason, so that we can kind of like figure out how to deal with it in the most honorable, spiritual, godly way. So that's kind of my outlook when I'm trying to communicate. Beth, do you think that if Jack's vision of ending wars which is such a huge idea, that we don't actually know if it's possible because we haven't seen a time where that has happened, but if that existence was to occur where there was no wars, would governments be able to exist, or would that be a kind of situation where they were removed?
So I see this through the two archetypes that are really one, the masculine and the feminine. And the masculine represents the public, say government systems, and then the private is our natural life that we live every single moment and don't see it like we're fish in water looking for water. And so I'm one of those anarchists that doesn't believe.
She's an anarchist.
I know who Beth is. I'm subscribed to her. She's got a channel,
Thoughts after having this conversation?
What's her channel? Let's promote her channel. Do you know it?
Hold on, let me pull it up to make sure. It's Beth Martins, I believe.
Can you please put it in the
I'll grab it. I'll grab
chat?
it.
Yeah.
I do want to point out too that if anybody missed it, Rose just addressed the doxing son issue.
But she did. Where?
Well, she addressed that people are dangerous and harmful a couple minutes ago.
Right.
So if you read it in context, which I assume it has to be in context, there's no way Rose is this good, but she missed that huge scene yesterday.
Oh my God. I am emotionally spent after this. I totally got suckered in by Jack's emotions. I started to resonate with
you
Jack.
gotta stop doing that. Resonate back with Rose.
I just tuned in with Jack, and then I just felt all of his disappointment, frustration, and pain. And I just am like fucking blown away right now.
Today
Put a
and
link
meeting
backstage.
Beth and hearing a little bit about how she sees things, what would be your contribution and thoughts?
I love everything that was offered. Thank you. What Beth was saying, it resounds deeply with everything I've experienced. One of the, well, we'll wrap it up. So,
Yeah, I bet so.
Thank you. It's beautiful. Hey, facing the fears. That's what I was referring to. Facing the fears. It's no joke, and this is where what's been holding me back. People lack trust. We live in a world where trauma has been profitable, so people are real stingy with their trust and with their love and with their care. So I haven't found the people who are trusting enough to try and learn from me. But what you're talking about, I faced fears that I didn't even know I had. I had opportunities in my life to discover strengths and weaknesses in me that I had no clue about. And I have within my heart the prayer, the hope to help others discover what is within them.
Boy.
I control me, though. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate this. Sincerely.
Yeah. That's beautiful to hear, Jack. Yeah, I wish you well. Feel free to call on me if you want to chat about.
I would love to. Rose, can I ask you to share my contact or a way for us to connect? Or should I just leave it in the back?
Yeah, why don't you put your contact information in the private chat, and then Beth can grab that, and then we'll continue this conversation another time.
Never.
But thank you so much, Beth, for joining us. Is there anything you wanted to add before I close it out, Beth?
No, I that's great. I'm honored to be here. I always like to see you, Rose. I was watching your video with the Weaving Spiders welcome, guys, and it just felt like I got to spend an evening.
Oh
with
my
you, so
God,
really
Rose was on a panel.
Okay,
Rose was on a panel called "Weaving Spiders." Did you just hear that?
Yes, you've been saying that all day. That's crazy.
Oh,
That's synchronicity right there.
My God, that just sums it all up. They always have to put it in your face. This is how they do it, everybody. They have to tell you what they're doing as they are basically manipulating and controlling you. This is Mossad 101. Oh my God. Okay, it's over. It's insane. I can't believe what we just saw there. I'm gonna be fucking spun about this one for a while, at least until tomorrow. Let's welcome Brown's.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Harvey. Let's welcome Brown's boy and Chuck from Tennessee, Chuck in Tennessee, to the show. Much love.
Howdy. Hey, thanks, guys.
Go ahead, gentlemen. Chuck, let's go to you first. I'm sure Chuck has a lot of comments, or at least something. Go ahead, Chuck. What are your thoughts?
Well, I missed most of it. I have to go back and rewatch.
Yes, you do.
But I do know that when he started his show today, the stuff he was talking about is what stuff Flo was talking about on his show last night. So I know he watched the show that we did last night, Flo.
I only stopped in for a second. Well, I don't know. You probably saw me stop in on Jax for just a minute. I didn't watch
Jax. I didn't either. I didn't watch the whole
But I knew
thing.
that he was watching because he texted me. He sent me 2 big old text messages as like basically.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. What was the first part of this about? Were they dissecting Jack?
You just have to watch it. It's worth it. I
Okay.
promise. It cannot be described.
It's that good?
Let's go to Brown's boy. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I was just curious, which Jack episode are we talking about?
Well, it's a whole thing. He's a continuing fucking saga.
Oh, the one that was on the screen. My bad.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. All right, guys, I'm gonna move on. I have to move on. This
was a taxing exercise.
It was because I feel like I'm in touch with Jack for whatever reason. I don't know why. I feel like I'm in some type of weird emotional connection with Jack. And then to watch Rose
Exactly. There's the value. Sorry. Last thing. That's where the value lies.
Go ahead. In what? What is the value?
The value lies in the attachment you just described, sir.
Jack's value. Jack has content value. He's on the hero's journey, and people feel connected to him because his plight is so out in the open. Also, your personality type predisposes you to being empathetic,
right? Empathic with Jack. Listen, but I know Rose had to do it because okay, I'm going to give my final summation, and then I'll open up to the panel. My final summation is Rose realized she had to deal with Jack in some way. Now, Rose's maneuver is not to ignore people. So when Jack is barking up the rose tree, Rose goes, okay, and then sets her mind towards a particular course of action. We just saw it play out here, and I will reiterate that when Rose moves, it is with a multi-tiered intent. Rose is like the definition of, two birds and one stone. So for Rose to come on and do this, it was not only a power move over Jack, but it was in the same glancing blow in effort to show Jack something that was sorely needed in his life. Go ahead. Floor's open.
I think when we first talked about the morality component, I denied that she got the moral high ground in this. Now, after seeing the whole thing, I think she maintained the moral high ground the whole time. The entire thing was carried on by Jack being deceptive. And the moment he stopped doing that, then the paradigm would have broke. I think she did it fantastically.
Cool. Much love. All right, Browns boy, final thoughts?
I missed the video in question, but I was on Jack's today for a little bit. I saw Flo showed up and got tossed out like a
again.
Oh, instantly. I wasn't even talking to Jack. I said a comment to somebody else. Yeah.
Yeah, it was something, but I actually found new value in Jack today. For real.
Which is what?
You wanted me to tell you the straight up truth?
I mean, yeah, I'm curious. I don't. Yeah, you don't have to.
It's that he doesn't take no for an answer.
And you think that's a good character trait or a bad?
I think that there is value in that trait, is what I'm saying.
There is value. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's serving him well now, though. Do you? Do you think it's serving him well in his life right now?
No. I think it could be. I mean, I can't say that, but I think I could think of ideas very easily that I don't know. It's hard to say, but I see value, and I think I could, as long as it's geared towards learning. Like for real though, I have an idea.
All right, Browns boy, you might be a little spun out on this. Here's the thing. It goes back to what I was saying with Jack. It's here's the thing, dude. It's the vulnerability that Flow State said, but it's a vulnerability in a way that's pathological. He's basically I guess the word term is not flatulent, but flagellating himself in an effort to garner some type of moral high ground. He might not be in touch with it, and he's doing it in a way that's boundaryless. And that's why the Beth was making the point where not only does he have nobody who's really his friend, but he has no real enemies. You see, if you are to have a group, a tribe, if you are to have allies, you will by nature have enemies. This is the nature of this realm, this binary world that we live in. Jack is attempting to have neither. He's attempting to basically present a Christ-like Messiah persona, and in the effort he has basically nobody in his corner because of it. I gotta go. I gotta end the show. Chuck, final thoughts.
Okay, I'm out. I'll let you go.
If
All right, much
anybody
love,
was
Chuck.
to fight a bear, I would put Tommy. I'd be like, yo, just like I trust that guy to fight a bear or something. And maybe even Flo too, but mostly Tommy because he's like a little bit more crazy.
I'm not fighting a bear.
Okay, then Tommy. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like people have their like little attributes, man. I'm just saying, don't. Yeah, it's easy to minimize everything,
I'm not doing that.
but like, no, I know
Everybody
nobody.
has strengths. Everybody has weaknesses. This is why people work best in groups, whether it's a village, a family, or a
So
tribe or a
what's a
community.
person's biggest weakness is seeing themselves, really, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
I
you want
could.
me to tell you?
I
Do you want
could.
me to tell
I
you
could.
my idea for Talcott that would make him a bunch of money and actually would be hilarious and actually learning? We bring him around.
That's a
I'm
disease.
dropping this here, dude. I'm dropping this here because whatever.
Flow State, this is Brown's boy. He said, "Dude, I like you, Brown's
Flow
boy.
State,
You're
have I
whack
ever had
as.
good
You're
ideas?
so whack, dude.
Yeah,
You're whack
Brown's
as
boy
fuck,
has good
bro.
ideas.
But
He's
I
got
like him.
Yeah,
But
he's got a
he's
wonky
totally whack.
communication style, but he's sharp with it.
All right,
So
go ahead.
we go
Please.
to music festivals and like we're part of a group that like, dude, there's people that like bring a freaking tent and like set gongs up in them and like people like are like, I don't know, just pay shit tons of money to sit in there. But like in this booth, Talcott's there and you have to fucking face yourself.
What the
You see
fuck
what
is
I'm
he
saying?
talking
Like
about,
he
Flow
takes
State?
he doesn't take no for an answer. So like whatever you tell him, he is literally going to flip it on you. And he's going to
Okay, so
make
you're
you fucking
saying
see yourself.
you're saying
And especially
basically
if you're on drugs.
you can exploit him in a way
Not
that
exploit,
will.
that's your words, okay.
Well,
I mean,
I
if you
don't
want to pervert it right off the rip, is that your lineage or
It's
what?
not exploit. Isn't necessarily
I don't
pervert.
even mean it in a negative way. You took it in a negative
We're trying to
way.
understand the
God,
thing. Like I
Brown's
don't
boy, you're fucking weird
exploit
as
is not
fuck,
like a
dude.
term. It's used with in churches.
What's your deal, Brown's boy? You're fucking weird as hell, dude. What's
I'll
your
let you
deal,
guys go.
man?
I've overstayed a little bit. I do apologize. I am trying to be funny, but thanks.
Oh,
Yeah, see what
all
I
right.
mean? He's so
Yeah.
weird.
I want
He's a
to
weird
know what he's
guy.
talking about, but like you inserted the wrong word in that question there, I guess.
All right, here's the thing about him. So
Mhm.
what he was trying to say is he had this idea where you can use Jack as some like weird, like I don't know, like some Zen like fucking presentation of somebody who's going to, I don't know, be constant in their thing. I kind of know what he's getting at. He's so weird. Come talk to me again, Rounds boy. Just you're
like a looking glass or something. Like, oh, this is how I am or something.
I don't know. I kind of know what he was getting at. It's that Jack, he's unrelenting. It's like we were saying previously about him. He's been the same Jack for over a year now. It's almost like every morning he wakes up and it's almost like he runs into the wall every day. It's like, okay, it's like, here's what I'm picturing, like a cartoon where like a guy runs into the wall, knocks himself out, right? Then he comes to the next morning and then runs into the same wall over and over and over again, thinking that something's going to change, but he's just like fucking himself up in the process.
Well,
I
have to wonder though how many times though the victim card has worked for him, right? How many people out there have helped Jack to their own detriment? That would be the thing that I don't know. Maybe none, but I doubt none.
All right, I'm gonna get to the news. Much love, Flow State. This
All
was
right.
enlightening
This was a fantastic stream. I had a great time. Thank you for having me up. Good luck with your little emotions.
Oh my God, much love. I'm gonna have to process this in so many ways. What we just witnessed here. This was too much of an emotional roller coaster for me. I have to admit, it was too much. But it needed to be done. There was no way Rose could perpetrate that on Jack and then me just pretend that like that didn't happen. Did anybody else in the chat just like go on some weird emotional ride and sync up energetically with, was I the only one who just started resonating energetically with Jack for some fucked up reason? Oh my God. Maybe there's somebody else out there that knows what I'm talking about. Everybody else just seemed to be like pigs in shit. Holy crap. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. Patrick says, nope, just you. I'm glad. I don't want anybody to experience what I just did. Rachel says, I think you're into Jack. I am into Jack. I love Jack in a way. So you could say I'm into him, fine. But right, and somebody's saying I'm playing into the narcissism by like feeling. I get what you're saying, Freeform. It's like that's the move. Is for me to feel the empathy for Jack, and then to be complicit with his controlling tactics. I get it. God, smart chat. You guys are on it, man. You guys are fucking on it. Yeah. Much love, Mr. Talcott. Peace and blessings to you, good sir. Snow says, Z, you're just now joining the emotional ride with your commentary. I stand with exactly what you said the whole time. Well, I was trying to be honest with it. I was trying to give, a straightforward commentary on the thing. Some people are actually thankful for this process. Like, it brought people through things. Some people said this was Christ-like. Maybe it was in a way of like some weird, I don't know, like an alchemical thing, like a transmutation, like I was saying before, a crucible type experience that we went through along with Jack. Maybe we're all transformed from this. Maybe we all now will come out of this process in some type of rebirth, a renewal, so to speak. Who knows? All right, everybody. It's time for news. In tonight's top story, Trump legal news brief. Judge expands gag order after Trump goes after his daughter. Uh-oh. Following several attacks on his daughter by former President Donald Trump, Judge Juan Merchant expands his gag order in the hush money trial to include family members. Hope Hicks, who served as Trump's press secretary and communications director in 2016 campaign, is expected to be called as a witness in the New York hush money trial that begins on April 15th, a source tells MSNBC. Since leaving her post as a top White House advisor in 2018, Hicks has testified before the New York grand jury investigating Trump's payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels, as well as before the House January 6th Select Committee. Here are the latest legal developments facing the presumptive Republican presidential nominee for 2024. Wow. They're really throwing at the book at Mr. Trump here, but it begs the question, everyone. We know they love their controlled opposition. They love their psyops. Okay. Are they really putting Trump through the ringer, or are they just giving the public what they expect? The more I investigate the political arena, the more I see a dog and pony show from the top down. Many people will not or could not even begin to understand the level of top-down control that has been perpetrated upon the populace for all of known history. Are they really giving it to Trump, or is he just playing his part? Maybe he's unaware of it. I always say it like this. I don't know who's in on it, who's complicit. Some people like to tell you that everybody's in on it. That Trump's in on it, and Hillary's in on it. And they basically just laugh at all of us as they go to their little parties and they sip champagne and adrenochrome and et cetera, et cetera. Okay, maybe. Or maybe they're just as unwitting as the rest of us. Maybe they're just puppets in the fucking dope show, just like the rest of the morons. They seem moronic. Trump seems like a fucking idiot. So does Hillary. So does Elon Musk. So does Klaus Schwab. I don't see them as evil geniuses playing the public. They seem like the dumbest fucks you could possibly imagine. They're likely being played just like the rest of the unwashed moronic plebes. In other news, what to know about the Ozempic weight loss trend? With the use of drugs like Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro growing in popularity for weight loss, some people are trying to gain similar results using a lower cost and easily accessible option, dry oats. Experts say this trend does not mimic the way these drugs are used for weight loss and could have negative health impacts. Anita Soth of California told Good Morning America she decided to try a meal replacement drink known as Ozempic in order to lose weight for an upcoming trip. I've been struggling with my weight loss journey for a little while, Soth said, quote, I have a trip in a couple of weeks, so I need to lose a little extra pounds. So I just said, I'm going to give it a try. Soth told Good Morning American she lost around 4 pounds in several days by following the Ozempic routine, along with intermittent fasting or time-restricted feeding, where you limit the times during which you eat, typically only in an 8-hour time period. The meal replacement drink known as Ozempic is made by blending a mix of oats, lime, and water and a sprinkle of cinnamon. So all this goofiness, do you see how mind control works? Propaganda. They're basically just telling you that there may be a weight loss process using oats, lime, and water and some cinnamon, and you drink it and you combine it with intermittent fasting. But yet they give it the name Ozempic, and they start the first 2 paragraphs up with the article talking about Ozempic, Wegovy, and Mounjaro, these growing in popularity weight loss drugs. Villains, you are all around. You couldn't just give me an article talking about, hey, maybe some research about this oat drink and combining it with, what did they say? Ozempic. God, reality, you have derailed. It's a mix of oats, lime, and water, and a sprinkle of cinnamon, and you combine it with intermittent fasting. Brandy Fraser, a mom of 3, told Good Morning America she has found that combining the drink with low-calorie, high-protein meals each day has helped get closer to her goal weight. Okay, I'm intrigued. Ozempic and the other 2 drugs are used for weight loss and can cost more than $1,000. Okay, we know. Okay, so there's diet versus the drugs. This is just promoting their stupid drug. They're making the natural way look stupid by calling it Ozempic, barely focusing on it. You want to talk about controlled media? You want to know who really runs things? These multinational corporations. They've got their hands all over the pharmaceutical industry. Here's what I tell my listeners continuously. I'll say it again. What does it say about a society that has occulted and hidden medicine and actual healthcare techniques from the populace and presented us with their pharmaceutical-based alchemy for profit? It tells you all you need to know about this whole system, the culture, the so-called controllers. If they're hiding medicine and presenting us with basically for-profit, petroleum-based pharmakeia, what does that say about your government? What does it say about the corporations, which are basically the same thing at this point? Tells you all you need to know. I'm going to look more into this oat-based drink. I've actually heard a little bit about this previously. I want to know about it. I wish they would just give me some research about that. Tell me the mechanism of action behind the drink. What is it about it? What is there enzymes involved? How does it affect your hormones, et cetera, et cetera? That's what I want to know. I don't want you to promote your drugs to me. I'm tired of it. Unfortunately, most people can't see through this. They just go along with the propaganda and the deception, and they are worse off for it. In other news, what to know about the new minimum wage in California. Starting Monday, more than 500,000 fast food workers in California will get a 25% bump in hourly wages from $16 to $20 now that the new law has kicked in statewide. Governor Gavin Newsom signed Assembly Bill 1228 into law last September, which only affects fast food workers at chains with at least 60 locations nationwide. Franchises and some small food business owners have voiced concerns over the change, feeling pressure to compete financially and find the best way to balance the margins, which for some could include raising menu prices. I talked about this before the other day when a story came up about the price of McDonald's. And I'll say today what I said then. I get it. McDonald's is shit food. It's highly processed with preservatives, refined, bleached white flour. Who knows what's in their hamburger buns? We hear about the pink sludge, et cetera, deep fried, oil-based, all kinds of stuff, high cholesterol, et cetera. But here's the point. You used to be able to get a full meal at McDonald's for a few dollars. For $2 or $3 or $4, you can go and get a nice meal. You would get your caloric intake for the day. And like I said, I know it's shit, but this is America, damn it. I thought this was the land of the free and the home of the brave. You guys know I don't agree with it, but that's the propaganda they sold us. You used to be able to get a damn Happy Meal for a couple dollars and move on with your day. That's gone now. So you're going to pay these McDonald's workers $20 an hour? $20 an hour to work at McDonald's? Okay, people need a livable wage. It's not my fault things are inflated. This is an agenda. This is purposeful. They don't want you to be able to eat for pennies on the dollar. They want you as a chattel slave in their economy, their quote unquote global economy. They want you working. They want you paying taxes. They want you on the system. This is what they want. To the point now where to even feed yourself in the most rudimentary way, you will be compelled to comply with their system straight up. This is inflation on purpose, all around. They do these things from the top down. They tell you there's a free market. They tell you it's a laissez-faire economy and it's capitalistic. History is showing us it's anything but. It's a crony capitalistic system at best. More appropriately, it's feudalistic, neo-feudalistic at this point. Potentially fascist, collectivist, but it's always been like this. Top-down control. I could say it. I can't say it enough. We're being managed. We've been managed. It's just coming out in the open now. It is the unveiling, the revelation, the apocalypse. We're just finding out about it. And as I continually say, it's not a new world order. It's just a world order. All right, folks. That'll do it for the news, and that'll do it for yet another Z show. All right, guys. Much love. I'm going to have to rest after this one, only because you guys are right. I fell into the Talcottian. I fell into like the Talcottian trap where he completely drew me in. I was completely resonating in a synchronous way with his emotions. I'm going to have to like do some grounding and breathing exercises after this. Blessings, Mr. Talcott. We experienced a journey here tonight that none soon will forget. Flow State says he's going live for a bit if anyone wants to discuss this masterpiece. So Flow State's going live as he typically does right around now, and he's saying that this will be a topic of conversation. Just find him on YouTube. It's at Flow State. Not hard. It's not hard. And Freeform says, Flow State, I will come over if you really open up about Jack. Well, it seems like he wants to have the conversation, but yes, cool channel name. Emotion, the energy in motion that I experienced thanks to Rose was basically off the charts. All right, much love, everybody. Many blessings. I bid you farewell and adieu. But let's just not say goodbye. It's just like I said, farewell. Farewell for now. And if the fates are willing, we will be back here tomorrow. Same Z time, same Z channel. Much love, folks. Take care.